Hi.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Mama Steele.
We're feeling great.
We are feeling here.
This Instagram post is still uploading. Posted.
Yes.
We're ready to begin the live stream.
How are we all feeling today?
Did everyone miss us?
I mean, 1 week away isn't that long.
It feels like I haven't done this in fucking ever.
I know you always say that when we take a break.
So I'm just like, does 2K Mats even exist
No,
anymore?
never heard of it.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Almost been 2 weeks since we've seen each other.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
It has. But
So.
I was here 2 weeks ago in this chair, and I'm back again. We only technically missed 1 week.
Yeah, technically.
So, technically.
For the podcast. Like a standard video,
I was checking to see, are Steele and Travis gonna do something?
There was nothing to do. What could we have possibly done?
I don't know, something for people. Hi, it doesn't. We're here now. That's what's important.
We're here now.
Hi, Moop. Hi, Olaf. One
Hello.
week only. 1 week only.
Oh, my baby Juan is here.
Hi, Juan.
Hello, Juan.
Lou, welcome back. Thank you. We're so happy to be back.
All right, let me tweet
We're
out
happy
this
to be
link
here.
that we are here.
Oh, man.
Right.
Welcome back. Sunday evenings are different without you. That's the thing. I'm glad we're all back here together. Tyler's here.
What did everyone do last Sunday?
They jump in my baby, and Palmer cannot help himself but put that anti-Gaga title. It's not an anti-Gaga title.
Gaga title.
Hey.
We're just saying the news.
And it's not her fault.
Yeah.
She just was an actor, a vocalist in the film, and people have seemed to like her performance.
They do, yeah. So I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either.
We literally have nothing to say about it yet, but I'm
Yes.
seeing it next week. So how's Big Brother going, Steele? I mean, it's winding down. It's the end of the season. We'll talk about it in 2 game minutes.
Steele, did you like Harlequin?
I didn't listen to that.
I didn't either.
It's an album of covers, guys. It's wonderful. I've heard 2 tracks from it, and I'm like, yeah, Lady Gaga's a great singer.
Right.
I like an album of covers, regardless of who it is, will never thrill me.
Right. I'm with you on that.
I'm also not a standards person, which a lot of people are very surprised to hear because I love musical theater. But I'm like, no, I love musical theater because I love the story attached to it.
Right.
But when it's just the whole smile though your heart is, it's kind of just it's a lovely song.
Yes.
But that an album of that doesn't
move.
do much for me.
That's fair.
Personally.
And guys, I'd like it to be noted that Matt Steele said all that. I feel like I get a lot of blame for anti-Gaga
This
XYZ.
isn't an anti-Gaga.
It's not, but if I said it, the people would be rioting in the streets. So I said nothing.
I just say it, a little chipper in my voice. She would be like, standards suck.
We all know there was I will never forget this. This is probably in maybe post Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel, pre-Maya Mariah. L.A. Reid was talking about what he wanted Mariah to do next, and he said I think it's time for her to do an album of covers and standards.
And there's nothing I want fucking less,
especially from Mariah Carey. Sure. I realize she's a vocalist of a generation, but let's not forget the songwriting talent. Yeah. So that's not my bag either. From anybody,
even the big Broadway stars, those are kind of the albums that they put out. It's that's not necessarily what I love here. I don't know. I can enjoy a small cabaret moments, but I'm not I really want to hear hours and hours and hours of these people singing songs that were originated by other people. I don't know. I'm happy with a cover of something on an album or something like that.
Yes. Open
Mariah,
Arms, the beautiful
Mariah's
ones.
One More Try. Let's go.
Yes.
But a full moment of that, I'm cool.
Yeah.
But
I heard she has 2 new songs on the Harlequin.
Oh yeah, there's Joker,
Happy Mistakes.
Oh, is that not?
And I think that's a new one.
Cool.
And then I assume there's a title track of some kind, but that's great. Benvenutos a dos Mateos homosexual. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad Mariah's getting her flowers as a songwriter. She absolutely should. Always. I liked Gaga's soundtrack. I have no interest in seeing the movie. The thing is, you guys know that I'm not a person who likes a lot of gore, a lot of,
Yeah, that's why you're not seeing
murder. So that wasn't my. So the thing is, I'm sorry. Not sorry, but I'm sad for the Gaga fans who were really excited for it. That maybe it's not getting the reviews they were expecting.
Yeah.
But this woman has an Oscar. You know what I'm saying? Gaga's gonna be fine.
Fine. And she's about to put out an album, we think. We heard.
Oh, absolutely. The singles come in this month, supposedly.
Yeah, I hope it's not when I'm out of town.
When do you leave, by the way?
Thursday morning.
Okay.
Yes. That's when my flight is. We'll see.
What does that mean?
Well, it might have to be pushed back like a couple hours.
Really?
For reasons.
Good reasons?
Yeah, it'll be stressful if it happens, but we'll talk about it in the
will.
podcast.
Did you see Chappell's response to her views about endorsing? Yes, I saw a clip. I didn't see the full. It's hard to keep up with the TikToks, but I saw that she said that she would vote for Kamala, even though she's not fully endorsing, which made sense to me. Was happy to hear "fuck Trump" from her. Again, didn't watch it in full. It seemed a little longer than it needed to be, but I saw
it was longer than it needed to be.
I saw those like pull quotes and was like, good for her. And I kept scrolling because I feel like we've all, as a culture, we've maybe been a little chaperoned out from the like
it was exhausting discourse.
Yeah. I'm just wanted to do some of this.
It didn't need to be as exhausting as it was.
Yes.
But the substance definitely not Matt Palmer coded.
Is that a scary one?
The substance, remember I literally talked about it.
I've forgotten everything you've ever said. You know that I don't remember that kind of stuff. But yeah, not for me. I get her stance, despite the weird calling the left transphobic, but I think she needs to take a break from everything right now. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was rough. There were moments on that TikTok where I was like, Chapel? Chapel?
It also feels like, again, not to keep talking about, luckily this won't be in the podcast. Her whole thing was like, you guys don't know me. We're not friends. Don't come up to me, XYZ. I think it'll be easier for people not to feel like they know you if we see fewer to no front-facing camera like talking footage from her ever. Because like if she's saying I want there to be distance between me as an artist and me as a person, then we shouldn't know about you as a person from your front-facing video at all.
Sure.
So maybe I hope maybe that's the advice she's getting.
Sure. Yeah.
Steele, would you take the substance?
No.
There you go.
I don't even drink alcohol.
Oh, is the substance alcohol?
No. Well,
or is
it's like an injection of some kind.
Oh.
No, I'm not.
No, I don't want to.
And I don't need to take the fucking substance, Michael Smith.
Well, I heard someone thought you were.
I am the substance.
I heard someone thought you were your brother's older brother.
Yeah, fuck Jason.
So maybe you do.
Fuck my coworker, Jason.
Jason, we love you. Thanks for watching.
We love Jason. He's a little angel.
Words cannot describe how excited I am for Charli/Ari. I love that Ari is going to be on Sympathy as a Knife. I will tell you that.
Yeah, that's great.
That's going to be
exciting.
great.
And Robin on 360?
That's already out.
What? Oh.
That's already out. And
see, when Matt Palmer's out of the country, girl, I am tuned the fuck out.
No, but I think she put out that remix maybe before Brat came out, and like Robin's barely on it.
Okay,
I know.
Well,
I've been listening to Short and Sweet nonstop, and I think it totally does pop vocal album. Okay, maybe it gets it. We'll see. I understand her stance when it comes to Gala. She's very pro-Palestine. I think people attacking her over that is stupid, but she does not have to respond to everything everyone says. Gonna pretend I'm like the Jason you're talking about. I love you guys. Oh, we do love you, Jason.
No, Jason, you were not. Yeah, no, because I posted because yesterday was my brother's birthday and Mike.
Happy birthday,
Michael.
Michael.
And I told my coworker Jason, I was like, oh, my brother's turning 41, and Jason was like, so is he your older or younger brother? And I was like, how dare you?
It's a little fun. Jason, you got him there.
Neither need the substance because a younger, better, more attractive version of Chick Mats does not exist.
That's very kind. That's
Thank
very
you.
kind. I'm very excited for the Olivia Rodrigo Netflix special, as am I. I feel like, I'm not going to be able to see her in concert for a long time. She's a popular young lady, so it'll be exciting to see.
Oh, I saw she was in the Philippines on the moon, and she was like, this is my first time in the Philippines, and she got emotional about it.
And I think she's played in her biggest venue ever in the Philippines.
That's awesome.
I'm sure it's sold out. Good for her.
Yeah. I'm disappointed that Mariah performed Only We Belong Together at the AMAs.
It was weird that they announced it as a medley, and then she was like, oh, I'm singing a song from the album. And I'm like,
iconic. Yes.
It's like, well, then let's all get our points straight, AMAs. So, I mean, I'm glad she looks gorgeous. She sounded great from the clips I've seen. So I'm excited for her. And I'm excited for Merry Christmas 30, which I assume is happening this year. There are supposedly like leaked pictures of another cover in which she's perched like she is on that 94 cover.
The booty
is out.
Oh, the booty in that cover is just fantastic. And that tight spandex Santa moment.
That's the only thing that's going to get me excited for this next 2 hours or whatever while we're on, because I'm, again, exhausted, is the idea that A, Christmas is coming, and B, Mariah is coming. I loved her dress, so gorgeous.
This is a sad question, but if Cowboy Carter lost Album of the Year, would the loss hurt more or less than Lemonade or Renaissance? It depends what it's against.
I mean, I would imagine less. I like Cowboy Carter. It's in my top like 4 or 5. But Lemonade and Renaissance are battling it out for my number 1 for my, Beyonce favorite album. So I'll be upset, but I won't be like as upset.
I think a part of me is kind of just like I love Cowboy Carter.
Yeah.
Like it's probably my favorite album of the year still.
Yeah.
Just because the ambition of it, I think, is just so excellent, and there's so much to listen to on this album. But I'm at this point, I'm kind of just like, might as well like do the poetic thing and give it to her on the 3rd act of this trilogy,
right?
Like Lord of the Rings style at the Oscars, like. So if we're gonna wait this long, Grammys, might as well have it be the climactic 3rd act rock and roll album.
The thing is, I just want her to win it at some point, even if it's when she's like 80 years old and it's like a career album of the year Grammy. I will take
what if it's an album of covers? She would never.
She would never. She would never.
No offense to anyone who has, but
I have a feeling Ariana or Billie will win album of the year. I don't think Ariana is a threat there, but Billie could win it. I'd be surprised, but it could happen. Palmer, what came first, your love of Christmas or your love of Mariah? I think my love of Christmas came first. I was a big Christmas person, and I didn't.
What child isn't a big?
I mean, exactly, but I mean, even still, it stuck with me in a way.
You were 4, and you were just like, this Christmas thing, I don't really get it yet.
The thing is, a lot of people don't care about Christmas like me and Mariah care about Christmas. So, yes, it was my favorite holiday early on.
I think a lot of people care about Christmas. I think it's just like some people are more willing to put in more emotional labor into Christmas than someone like me, who's like, yeah, Christmas fucking rocks, and I don't need to do much. I just want to show up, maybe some gifts, maybe some family, maybe some food. I'm enjoying myself.
Not Bromat Steele.
Maybe
some food, maybe some gifts,
maybe some fun times.
Right. And it's like, I'm not saying I need to do a lot, but I just feel like there are people out there who I feel like can have a sad Christmas, which I guess conceivably I could, but I feel like there are people out there who are like, oh, when I'm single over Christmas, it's really a bummer. And I'm like, really? I can't imagine Christmas being a bummer for any reason.
I'm kind of just like, if being single like over Christmas is like, that's something that you actively like think about. It's just like, how often are you not single over Christmas? And then I'm kind of just like, oh no, but then do you base your whole personality or like how life is going on like dating someone?
I know, because you can't do that. Can't do that.
Don't do that.
No,
it's Christmas.
Even the most bummer Christmas I've had was the one over 2020 where I stayed in our apartment.
That's a bummer Christmas.
And did like a Zoom Christmas gift opening with my family.
Yeah.
And even then I was like, I'm happy.
That's great.
I made the Christmas meal as much as I could, which is the same as the Thanksgiving meal for my family. And, stayed in our apartment. And it still was fun. It still was like, I'm glad it's Christmas.
Ooh, Jason asked if Wicked becomes the massive hit it deserves to be. I think Ariana's chances will be bumped up. Not bad. Not a bad thought.
I hope and could see We Can't Be Friends winning some awards, and I could see her maybe winning Best Pop Vocal Album. Album, I don't foresee.
Pop vocal album, I don't know. I think those Grammy, they love Billie.
They love Billie, and
then that album is solid.
It is very solid.
Very critically acclaimed. So We Can't Be Friends winning something like pop vocal song.
I would love that. I'm
starting to think Espresso could win Record of the Year.
I could see it.
I could see it winning Record of the Year.
It.
And I had a weird thought of kind of just like, could Good Luck Babe win Song of the Year?
I would love that.
That'd be cool.
This would be very cool. I'm into both of those wins.
But then I'm kind of like, but I'd also like to see like Texas Hold'em maybe win.
Girls' Generation. I mean, I won't put money on it because I'm not going to bet over the YouTube. I don't know if that's allowed. Wicked's not going to flop.
Wicked's going to be fine.
Wicked's going to be fine.
Wicked is not going to flop.
I wouldn't say Billie's a shoe-in, but she's got a good shot. Yeah, I'd be surprised if Billie wasn't at least nominated. But you never know. I think Taylor could walk away with 1 or 0 Grammys this time around. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, hi, Mom. I'm glad to, hear from you
Hi,
as well.
Mrs. Palmer.
I'll give you a call
Your
tomorrow.
son is here, safe and sound.
I am here, a little low energy.
You texted your mother when you landed, right?
I did.
Okay.
Thank you
just
so
making
much.
Sure.
Yes, but she hasn't seen me.
Okay.
We didn't FaceTime while I landed.
What if it was really me texting from your phone and you didn't actually land?
I don't.
It was just me being like, I'm here, Mom.
That would be surprising for all involved, I think. Good luck, babe. Could definitely win Song of the Year.
We need to think about the difference between these categories. Song of the Year is the lyrics record for...
Not the lyrics.
Not just the lyrics.
It's lyrics, melody, chord progression. It's everything you could write on sheet music for the song, while record is for everything. Not just the production, but also how the song is delivered. Just everything in the recording.
Yeah. I kind of liken it to... Song of the Year in Oscar terms is kind of something winning Best Director or Best Screenplay, whereas Record of the Year is a song winning Best Picture.
Yeah.
I
could see that. Absolutely. I hope Sabrina's team don't fumble which song they enter for each category. I feel like you can look that up, that those entries are out there. You should talk to our friend Eric. Eric knows. They are plugged in, more so than I am. Yeah, I think the big song awards are a fight between Texas Hold'em, Espresso, Good Luck, Babe.
Ooh, Birds of a Feather.
Also, Birds of a Feather. Great songs. All good. We had a good year.
Yeah.
This was a good year for music.
This was a good year for music.
I'm happy that it was, a big year for a lot of ladies, new ladies even.
Yeah.
We have new superstars, it feels like, for the first time in a long time.
Songs with hooks.
Remember
songs
hooks?
With melodies.
Remember melodies?
Tomorrow's Toni Braxton's birthday and the anniversary of the Velvet Rope.
Wow.
What are you going to do to celebrate?
I mean, I will hopefully sleep for a long time tonight and wake up feeling refreshed.
That's what they want.
And beginning to feel a little bit back to normal. Unfortunately, we went to, not this part wasn't unfortunate, but we went to brunch. Jackson and I went to brunch with my friend Justin, his boyfriend Andy, and Janie today. And she's like, oh yeah, apparently jet lag, you're going to feel the same number of days as time zones that you are away. And we are 9 hours away. And she's like, yeah, so in 9 days, you should be back to normal.
Is this a science?
That's supposedly, she's a world traveler, so I trust. But that seems like a long time. Oh, wow. He doesn't trust. Sorry, I trust.
I think that's a cute theory.
Oh, my gosh.
Sorry, Janie.
Wow.
I need to know your thoughts on BB26 this week. I don't know how much you've seen the feeds, but Chelsea and Mackenzie are so horrible to Cam. Both the game and personally, I think it's kind of funny. They are being really harsh on this poor, sweet guy. But at the end of the game, everyone is just so frustrated with everyone. It happens every season. So they'll forgive each other outside of the house. They're not being horrendous to him. I don't know.
Right.
They're overall, this has been the least problematic cast in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So
Aaron wishes.
I mean,
Not Like Us could win Song of the Year, maybe not record though. I could see it winning either one, and that would be great. Could you imagine Drake? like as if Not Like Us has not gotten big enough, a Grammy Award winning diss track about you, in a general category.
That would be
it's a tough day.
That'd be a tough day.
He hasn't been around recently.
Matt Steele ignoring my comment to go straight to the Big Brother discourse. What was your comment?
We get comments.
We get
a lot.
so many comments.
People always want to talk to us. Palmer, when do you start listening to Christmas music? I think after Thanksgiving is the right answer. That's certainly not my answer. I have a playlist which I go to in times of need. But I feel like anytime after November 1st, I play it aloud.
Okay.
I will play it only to myself beforehand, but sometimes I'll hop in, see what the Merry Christmas to You playlist is doing. I honestly need to listen.
Let me see what this playlist is
doing. That I created.
Let's see if it's changed at all.
There's a new Kelly Clarkson Christmas single that came out, I think, while I was away.
Yeah.
And I've only heard a clip of it, but it sounds so good. And Mark Ronson produced it. And I'm like, Kelly's never worked with him. So, yeah, I'll be listening to that.
Please, please, please. I don't know. I feel like Espresso. I don't know. We'll see what happens when nominations come out. When do they come out? December? They usually come out December, right?
Maybe. Did you see Mariah mention MC16 is coming next year? I saw her say, yes, the soonest it's coming is next year. She said it in a weird way that was okay.
You said that in a weird way.
I need you to be clear. Clarity is
It's
important.
more than that. Chelsea's literally angry that Cam won't be in a showmance with her. She's practically told the whole house they're together. And it's like, oh yeah, she's down bad for Cam, and Cam is not into it at all. So like, there's definitely like those feelings. That I thought you were talking about Chelsea and Mackenzie being mad that Cam wasn't winning competitions, and them thinking that he's throwing them when he's not.
What is the whole Beyonce drama going on? There's literally no drama. Everyone get off Twitter. People are trying to connect her to the Diddy scandal for some reason, but that's made up. It's out of nowhere. A lot of people have met Diddy before, including Beyonce. And the fact that people are so bloodthirsty and hopeful that something terrible happens that takes down Beyonce and Jay-Z is very fucking weird. It's very weird.
It's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Which Brat remix track are you most excited for? Sympathy is the Night with Ariana. Absolutely.
She submitted Please Please for Song of the Year. I could see her submitting Please Please for Song of the Year and Espresso for Record of the Year. Espresso seems more like a standard ready-made hit. Yeah. Sympathy Boiler Room version, no features. Did you guys like B-side on the Velvet Rope?
I don't remember it super closely, but I need to. But I like the song Special, which is another Velvet Rope B-side that I don't think Matt Steele liked because he thought it was too treacly. But I think it's sweet. I think it's sweet. They're connecting Mariah to it for no reason. Absolutely. It's like people are so weird.
As a community, can we find a way to get Taylor to work the Imogen Heap? We put all our heads together. I think we can do it.
I mean, they've already worked together before. You mean to work?
But we want more.
We do want more.
As a community, we want more.
They reconnected for the 1989 Taylor's version. So if it's going to happen, it could happen around now.
Yeah. They keep harassing women that aren't associated with that man.
Yeah. It's just strange. It's just people are weird.
Yeah.
I'm so over the conspiracies right now. Who speculates about crazy shit like that? She did clean. Matt Steele, what was your favorite Gavin Creel role? Do you have a favorite?
I mean, Thoroughly Modern Millie is just such a such a staple, and that was just what put not just. I mean, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll
talk about it.
I hope MC16 doesn't come out right before December. I can't have it get lost in the Christmas whirlwind. There's no way she wouldn't do that. I always hope every year that she's ready to put something out in January when like the name on everybody's lips is Mariah. But who knows if that's going to happen.
How many more years does Taylor have with this level of success? I don't know, but she's milking it. She knows.
Come on.
She's like, who knows when this can all go away? I kind of feel like she's putting out so much, and then she'll put out her next Taylor's versions of stuff. And I think when she's done those, she's kind of just like, okay. I'm thinking maybe she's like, okay, I'm like of a certain age, would maybe love to like get married. So I could see her being like, okay, these Taylor's versions of Reputation and Taylor Swift are done. Travis, put a ring on it. Let me take a break for a little while. I don't know.
I could see another studio album coming before that.
Sure.
But yeah, I know what you're saying.
And then she's like, yeah, I could see her just like wanting to like take a break when she like maybe like gets married or something like that, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So she knows that's coming in like maybe the next couple of years.
Right.
I mean, no one ever knows, but you know. So that would be a logical time to do it if she were to do it.
Yes.
You know.
Palmer, which Brat song were you supposed to be featured on? I was going to be on B2B, but I was like, I think Tinashe will do a better job. And
You're so giving.
I'm really giving. It's really beautiful of me. Yes, I hope everyone is okay who was affected by the hurricane. Jake Price.
Yeah,
just got
glad you're
power
okay.
back. We're so glad you're okay. 1989 turns 10 this month. Wow.
Oh my God.
It's been 10 years. That's wild to me, guys.
She went away because of Kim, Kanye, and Joe. Does she hide on her own, though? Definitely she has kids. I don't think she went away. Like it was
like 3 years, right? Between 1989 and Reputation. So it would have been 2 years probably with
but that's kind of like a standard era of time between albums.
Right.
Not necessarily for Taylor,
Right.
but like for most people.
Right.
She didn't go away like how it's like Rihanna, where
have you been?
Where have you been? It's not like that.
That's true. Palmer, did you ever listen to Strawberry Lemonade? I did not. Sorry. Chloe's album was way too underrated, but the promo wasn't there. So 10 years of the bop that is Welcome to New York. Ooh, we're lying today.
It definitely bops like this. Beep bop, boop bop.
Is LA as bad, traffic as bad or worse than people? You just need to know when to not leave your house. And
which direction to go in at what time.
Right.
You get used to it.
You can work around it.
My first couple years, I was like, oh my God.
Right.
And now I'm kind of just like, you just get used to it. Yeah. And I will say, like, post-COVID, it hasn't been as bad as it was pre-COVID.
I agree with that.
Still not great sometimes.
No.
But not as mind-numbingly insufferable. Granted, I also have less of a social life, so as I've gotten older, so I go fewer places.
That's what happens.
So maybe that's it.
Did we already discuss Beyonce not submitting the Renaissance film for the Grammy? So I didn't know that. I'm glad she's submitting all her Cowboy Carter tracks and album to the categories, so that's beautiful.
1989's Reputation was the longest time between Taylor albums. It's like how this is the longest time since a Meryl Streep Oscar nomination.
And a Mariah Carey album. And I think even a Madonna album, too.
Damn,
I know.
It's been 5 years since...
Is it Gaga album, too, or no? I feel like it might be the longest been a Gaga album.
It might be, yeah.
But again, the thing is, we have so much material that we're not even noticing that we're also in a drought.
Yeah.
It's a both and.
But that's okay. That means 2025 will be a plethora of music.
Yes.
It will be Gaga, Mariah, Madonna, maybe Rihanna.
Maybe. Well. Election under a month away, which is wild. But I have gotten my email saying that my mail-in ballot's on the way.
That's beautiful.
So,
I got my mail-in ballot.
Oh, good.
Even though I always vote in person.
I
But it's
know.
nice to get that little ballot in the mail.
I'm going to get it in the mail, and I can't wait to just bubble it in, drop it off. We have a drop-off place right close to us, and so I'm thrilled about that. Beyonce needs to submit that film to Netflix or something rude, LOL. Gaga released an album last week. Oh, this is not me being shady. Does that one count? Gaga stands, let me know. Does that one count? She says it's a 6.5. Does Chromatica remix album count? It's like how when we do the Mariah listing and I'm like, does MTV Unplugged count?
Is it a studio album? But then I could ask you, does Merry Christmas count as a Mariah Carey?
That's different.
That's different. That's different.
That's different. We're not having 30. No offense, maybe we will. Who knows? But I don't imagine we'll be having Harlequin
30
in 30 years, right?
I went on a date recently with a guy who didn't know who Meryl Streep is.
Ooh.
Oh, how did you discover that?
Oof.
Ooh.
Shocking.
I don't count Gaga's album as a full Gaga album. I do like that cover there. Her in the shower.
That's a cool cover.
With
if the gift counts, I don't think we counted the gift when we're doing
we
our.
We did not count the gift. It's an excellent
album, but it's not a Beyonce.
I wouldn't say
album.
it's a Beyonce project.
Yes, it's a Harley Quinn album. Yes, this is Lee's debut album.
It's Lee's debut album.
It's gorgeous and wonderfully produced, but it wouldn't exist without the film.
Yeah.
Which, the Glitter album wouldn't exist without the film either, but I would count that as a Mariah album. So,
sure.
I don't know.
Because it's all original, new.
There's some covers. Didn't mean to turn you on to cover.
Okay.
But it's not all covers.
It's not all covers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Gift has some of her best work. Speaking of Streep, did you watch the season of Only Murders? I was watching it, but Hulu's such a fucking dick about VPNs when you're abroad. Like Peacock, well, I guess I don't know if this is whatever. Peacock, I could get my Housewives. I could get Netflix shit. We started watching Love is Blind. But whenever I tried to watch Only Murders, it was like, ooh, it looks like you're on a VPN. Like, you need to be back in the... So we don't know if you're, like, should have access to this, so you won't be able to watch it. I'm like, you bitch, I'm trying to watch Steve Martin.
Me.
It's me. Hi. I wanted to see. So we're behind because I was on that trip.
I'm so sorry that happened.
I'm still caught up on The Golden Bachelorette.
Okay.
English Teacher.
Okay.
Housewives. So it's okay.
It's okay. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
The flop album bracket will always be iconic. Steele was right about Art Pop.
Wow.
I wasn't I? We were talking about Only Murders in the Building, and I was like, oh, yeah, season 3 with Meryl Streep. And he was like, is that the producer lady? And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Producer?
Had he not heard of Meryl Streep or just hadn't put a face to a name? But either is bad. But if I can't imagine being a person who's of the age to date and you've never heard the words Meryl Streep before.
Yeah, that's
right?
bad.
Like, that's weird.
Yeah. Have you heard anything in Coldplay's new album? I'm not a Coldplay listener and gave it a go. It feels so cinematic. Was wonderfully surprised.
Oh, wow. That's good to hear. I'm not a Coldplay person, but I really loved their singles up until Viva La Vida. And then I feel like in the past, I guess 15 years, they've been kind of making songs that sound similar to me from an outside ear. Just kind of like, how U2 kind of got into a rut of like, oh, we're making inspirational songs for like big venues. That's what it felt like with Coldplay. So if this new album is great, that's good.
Inspirational song for.
Yeah, it's like, everything wanted to be Walk On, Remember Walk On?
And we all walk on, okay. That song?
No.
Okay.
That's Float On.
Oh, Float On.
By Modest Mouse.
Yes, you were, Matt Steele. You were. Our Pop deserved that bracket win. Glitter.
Justice for
Would have
Glitter.
been a really close second, but Our Pop for sure wins. Our Pop is great. Yes, Our Pop. Stand Our Pop in the chat.
I don't dislike art pop. I think it has great songs on it.
I thought Meryl and Streisand were the same person up till 2 years ago. Woo!
That's funny to me.
Wow.
Have they not seen Mamma Mia? I have not seen Mamma Mia. It's on my list though. I just watched Bridget Jones.
Yeah.
Mamma Mia is on the
Mamma
similar
Mia's in that
list
kind
of
of,
like
sure.
shit I should have seen. And
Mamma Mia is a fun time.
I wonder when Lizzo will return and what it'll sound like. I assume next year she'd be back because I assume she had to take a break after she got a lot of bad press at a moment. She had to let that die down a bit. She'll be back. The only art pop slander I'll tolerate is for Jewels and Drugs. That's funny. I'm
22, and I listen to so much Whitney.
As you should. The Scientist is one of my favorite songs of all time. That's a beautiful song. You know what song I love by Coldplay? Fix You. Oh,
That's a great
it's a great song. And I wanted to, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it like premiered or one of its main like sync placements when it first came out was on the OC. And so I was like, new Coldplay on the OC. Like, this is everything I need. And like
New Coldplay on the OC is like the most early 2000s sentence you could possibly say.
It was how I felt.
Honestly, it seemed like he hadn't heard of her or knew her because I started explaining how she has the most Oscar nominations, and he thought that was Leo. Oh God,
man, you need to ask what podcast he listens to, because if he says Joe Rogan or Andrew Tate, you got to get out of there, babe.
You might not listen to podcasts.
That's a better answer.
I think people who listen to podcasts sometimes are like very much in a bubble where they don't realize most people don't listen to podcasts.
Well, certainly don't listen to the ones that you're listening to. Like, I feel like a lot of people listen to like a Call Her Daddy, which Kamala was just on,
yeah,
and like a Joe Rogan or like the one that Dax Shepard hosts. But it's also like the idea that anything like the most niche form of media, I would say, is a podcast. No one's gonna be like, oh my gosh, everyone knows about what Joe Rogan was talking about last week.
Yeah.
It's like, no way.
But still, on the grand scheme of things, I don't think that most people still listen to podcasts as like a form of entertainment.
I think you gotta ask the demographics. I think it's a lot.
I think it's a lot of people our age.
Yeah.
But older than 45, I don't think so.
I think there's more than you think. We should look it up one day.
I literally had to explain to my mom what a podcast was.
Yes, but I mean,
after we had the 2 Gay Maths podcast for a year.
Sure, but I feel like if nothing else, so many people our age have podcasts that their parents are like, "What's a podcast? Let me figure it out." So maybe that's upping the numbers.
Sure.
We have talked about that, and he doesn't listen to podcasts. Phew.
Yeah.
Not you saying that to the 86 people listening right now. That's funny.
Yeah. Like, it's so funny. Like, guys who are obsessed with Leonardo DiCaprio and guys who listen to podcasts, if there's overlap, it could be dangerous.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. So the fact
Could
that it's
be
not,
dangerous. Which, like, I love Leo and I love podcasts.
But
Sometimes
that Venn diagram
Sometimes.
can get a little scary. Speaking of podcasts, the 2K Mats is the podcast.
Thank
you.
you.
Oh, that's kind. Was going to say I don't listen to podcasts, but forgot this is one. Iconic. But that's the thing is I bet a lot of people just watch the YouTube of this because they're like, I don't understand the podcast of it all.
Sure.
So however people find us, I'm happy that you did. And I'm looking right now at a mock-up of a new possible podcast cover.
Cute.
Because we got some pictures back from the incredible Arthur. And yes, so there will be new art coming soon. And also, maybe I should probably say this in the actual podcast recording. What date did we do? November
23rd.
November 23rd. Open and available. There may be a holiday live show coming to the Los Angeles area, announcing very soon. So yes, November 23rd, 9 p.m. Keep your days open.
Keep the days open.
We remember the ones who came last time. Isaac, Tangerine Marketing.
Isaac was there.
Jeffrey.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Jennifer.
And Grace, you need to buy that train ticket.
Wow, putting Grace on the spot.
Just calling people out.
Wow.
If you're on the West Coast, we want to see you there.
I don't give a shit if you are in Vancouver.
Oh, I actually have a very funny idea for what we should sing and like how.
Oh, I had a funny idea too.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the same one.
Let's collab.
You know what we should do? We should collab. We should totally collab.
It's kind of like what, like in like 2012 when you moved to Los Angeles and you met someone and they were an actor too, and it was like, we should do a web series. We should collab. I know someone with a camera.
Yes.
I know someone with a boom mic.
We should
Let's
collab. Let's collab.
Yeah.
Grace, I'm glad you were here to hear my calling out. Well, we're calling you in. I was there in spirit. That's
We're not
good.
calling you out. We're calling
you
you
in. Into the venue. What date is it? It's November 23rd. It's Saturday. It is 9 p.m., so I know that might be late for some people. We did our best. There was a lot of dates and times floating around, and that one makes the most sense. I'm so excited for the holiday live show and for Palmer to force us to sing All I Want for Christmas Is You. Yes. And the thing is, we need to think what we're going to like argue about. What are we going to do in the like... I mean, sorry, for those of you who aren't on Patreon and didn't come to the live show, in the like Annie slot.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We can literally argue like if it's appropriate that we are having a Christmas podcast before Thanksgiving.
Well, it's a holiday.
That could be the argument that people can vote for.
That is pretty funny. It is holiday, not Christmas.
Oh, that's true.
Sing Miss You Most. Same Megan Elizabeth. I'm so excited. Okay, should we record this podcast? Speaking of podcasts.
God, let's actually record the podcast.
Okay, I'm a little warm. I'm going to turn on the AC.
Oh, please.
Which I feel like you can't really hear on the podcast recordings when I do it. It's like, whatever.
Seeing Wicked the Friday before and need a Matt's cover of Defying Gravity.
That's
All I Want for
funny.
Christmas, too. Oh, that'll be the podcast where we talk about Wicked.
Oh, it will. Shit.
Ooh, that's going to be a big one.
Yeah, well, should
Christmas.
I mean, we'll talk. We have time, but like, should we make a video talking about Wicked?
Of course, we'll do that, too.
Okay.
Yes.
Making sure.
Please.
All right. Yeah.
All right, go on.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah. Hola, ladies and gentlemen.
Hola, indeed.
Hola, it's been dos... ¿Cómo se dice?
Semanas?
Weeks
Is
en
semanas
español?
weeks? I think semanas is weeks.
no
Or is that
sé.
months? No, meses is months, I think.
Meses is
Semanas, let's
Semanas.
say.
Dos semanas.
Yes.
Porque Matt Palmer was not
No
in
está aquí.
Estados Unidos.
See. And now I'm back.
Oh.
I'm back stateside. We are back on the mic, ready to talk our shit yet again.
Yeah, guys, I know you missed the... ¿Cómo se dice shit en español?
I don't know.
Oh.
Caca? Is that
Caca.
I believe it might
We're
be that.
here for the caca,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen.
But yes, I'm happy to be back. Just, I'd like it to be noted, if you are listening to this, I literally just got back last night. I was on a 9-hour time difference. So if I am extra unhinged on this podcast episode, let's just say that's the reason why.
Okay, well.
Because I can't take responsibility for the things that I say on the mic today. So there we go.
All
No,
right.
no accountability on my part.
All right, well, get the fuck over it. Wake the fuck up. We're beginning now.
Here it goes. All right, let's do an ad. Okay, some of you are going to get an ad. Some of you are not.
Oh, mierda.
Which one is that?
Shit.
Oh, what's caca?
I think they just say caca.
Oh, it's poop. Oh, wait. Wait, hold on. Might be gambling.
Might be gambling.
Yeah, I'm looking at my Google. See, look, it says gambling. I thought it was poop.
Caca means gambling?
Hold on.
Okay.
No, wait, no, it means it in... Oh, no, it's poop.
It's poop. Caca. Yeah.
Come on, bilingual era.
It's gonna be great.
Extra unhinged. I'm so ready. I'll try to keep it together.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine. It'll all work out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That ad done.
If the ad was done on our end, do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
Sure, I'll start.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another Two Gay Mats podcast. It is Matt Steele.
And it's Matt Palmer.
And Matt Palmer, tell
Yes.
us all about your 2-week excursion. I feel like I haven't been in front of a Two Gay Mats microphone in 5,000 years
Yes.
because you've been gone. You've been away from my life.
I have been away. I mean, it was such a lovely trip. We started in Madrid for 5 days, and that was me, Jackson, and then his sister Julia and her husband Michael. We did Madrid for 5 days all together. We did day trips to Toledo and I can't remember all the places. I want to say Cordoba, but that could be wrong. We
Sure.
also went to Sevilla, Cordoba, Granada, Ronda, It was just really beautiful. It was nice to be in Madrid, which is very much like the city center, but also had obviously a lot of palaces and museos that we enjoyed and learned a lot of history about. And we did a lot of walking, a lot of trying the food. I've had more ham than a person should consume an entire calendar year.
Okay.
They love their jamon. Jamon on everything. And the thing is, I just kept eating it. I kept enjoying it. Everything was jamon. Everything was queso. Everything was red wine. Everything was Aperol spritzes.
Okay.
And it was really lovely. It was nice to move from a more city-centric area to, southern Spain, more of the Andalusia area, which was it was warmer, A, which we love, and B, there were like smaller towns. Like Ronda is very small, but like has this giant gorge. You'll see some pictures on my Instagram of like houses that literally look like they're on stilts, but they're just on the top of a giant gorge that goes down must be a mile. I don't know. It was very impressive. A lot of great visions, and I had good use with the 2K Matt's camera because I was taking pictures everywhere I could go, and I enjoyed it very much. And Jackson, I have to say, is the best as far as like planning these kind of trips. He did a bang up job. I did a little bit of here and there, and like I was also in charge of like keeping the passport safe. Like I have a new crossbody.
That's totally my job. If I'm ever on a trip, I'm not planning shit.
No.
I'll hold the passports.
I'm holding the passports.
Yes.
And so I definitely made sure we did that, and a little bit of planning as far as Sevilla. Like we did a food tour that I booked, and it was very fun, very nice. And it was just nice because it was like, you get so into your routine at home, and I have a day job along with 2K Mats, and then it's like, I don't know, sometimes you get stressed into a point where it's like, am I nearing burnout? I don't want to be that person who like is annoyed and like not happy with the routine. And so going and having this break and going to Spain felt like a really nice refresher. And like, even though now I'm not yet refreshed because I haven't had a full night's sleep.
No, but you look the same. You look great.
Thank you. It was just a lovely, lovely vacation. I can't recommend like taking the time to see the world because it's a very big world out there. A lot of beautiful places with a lot of great history. Even though a lot of the history, which I feel like you're going to get in Europe a lot, was a lot of like dark stuff.
We all remember the what's it called? Where like all the where a lot of like it was killed if you didn't convert to Catholicism. There was a
lot of discussion,
bad times,
and a lot
of
like
called? The Inquisition.
Yes, and it was a lot of like, oh well, this used to be a mosque, and now it's a cathedral.
A cathedral.
And it's like, okay. So there were obviously the history is problematic.
History is problematic wherever you go.
It's true. But otherwise, it was just really lovely to see the sights and to break the monotony of life for a little bit. And now I'm like back feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, ready for the rest of the year to be a beautiful time for 2K Mats, for my other projects. And yeah, I'm happy to be back.
It sounds like a muy bueno trip.
It was very bueno.
Sounds like you had it was a big fiesta all around.
You're going through every Spanish word
listen,
aren't you?
I'm allowed to take wild guesses because
Yes.
I am Spanish,
Are you?
I am my Italian side. Some sort of great grandfather or male figure of some sort was actually from Spain and traveled on a boat carrying hemp to Italy, and the boat somehow crashed just off the shore of Italy and like sank. I don't think it was like a bad crash. I think like everyone survived or something like that, but like they were like stranded on it, and that's how some portion of my family ended up in Italy eventually.
Oh, okay.
I'm distantly somewhat Spanish. I think that's what I'm told. It could all be a giant lie for all I know, but you know what? That's history.
It's okay. Some days you find out you're Irish and you have no idea why. So I'm glad you have at least a little bit of a story of how you're a little bit Spanish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
how's the last 10 days been for you? Last 2 weeks?
I got to see a good friend of mine from college, Melanie, who I haven't seen in like 5 years. Wow. She lives down in Long Beach. And so I just it was her birthday recently, and I reached out to her and I was like, how the fuck have you been? I fucking miss you, and we never see each other, and you live relatively close.
Right.
So I got to hang out with her and her husband, who I've met before, and also her son, who's like 2 years old now, who I had never met before. And so that was really fun. I got to hang out with my friend Megan and her son Leander. We went to the Descanso Gardens, which was really exciting. A couple days ago, our friend Chuck and I went to see a play called Dragon Lady at the Geffen, which is written and performed by a performer named Sarah Porkalob, and that was an excellent show. Really, really well done. And so yeah, it's been an eventful week. I've kind of been like, this is weird. I'm not on my 2K Mats routine.
I know, that's always hard.
I'm always just like, oh my God, I feel like we're not doing anything for the channel. We are totally going under. No one will ever watch us again. And, it was a little horrifying. But I'm here. And it was so interesting because two gay Matts related things would pop up throughout the week, like people reaching out to us. And I was always the one to be like, well, Matt Palmer's actually traveling right now. So like I'm trying. And so it's like trying to like talk to Matt Palmer, but being like, okay, it's like 5 a.m. his time. So
Right.
what's the best time to text him? Was, I was trying to navigate that.
Yeah.
And I think I didn't do the worst job.
No, you did a great job.
I could have done better.
You did really well. And I must say, I don't know if you've updated your iOS to the new iOS 18 on your phone, but when I was in Madrid, the feature that I used the most that like did not exist until the new iOS release is the send later text message option. So I was able to schedule my text responses to you when it was the middle of the night your time. I was like, okay, send this at 7 p.m. my time, so it's 10 a.m. Matt Steele's time, and he's not like awoken by an annoying message.
Need that. That's
it's
amazing.
Really good. It only works for iMessage. It doesn't work if you're dealing with someone who has a different kind of phone, but it is a lifever. It has been a lifever over this trip. So.
Damn. My mom is in the chat and she's reminding me the person from Spain in my family was Fernando de Jose.
All right.
And which is why in Italian, my mom's maiden name is Di Giuseppe, because De Jose essentially means of Joseph. Of Joseph in Italian means Di Giuseppe, and that is my mom's maiden name and my middle name.
I hope one day people out there can do like our family trees. Like if they really pay attention to the lore of Two Gay Matts, that like they'll have Fernando de Jose in the Matt Steele family tree one day. That's going to be beautiful.
Like other people who are listeners doing our family trees.
Yeah.
I feel like then those people have gotten a little too close to their comfort. And then I'll feel like Chapel Roan up in here like, guys, you don't need to do my family tree. Please, maybe you should leave me alone.
You could make so many TikToks about it though. Like, please, don't come for me.
Guys, I just woke up and I like toss my curly red hair to the side.
You're very similar in a lot of ways, you and Chapel.
Different in other ways.
True. Oh gosh, we shouldn't talk. We're kidding, by the way.
The discourse was exhausting, guys.
Yes, and we love
so
Chapel.
I'm happy we had a week off.
I know, right? I'm so glad. It was perfect timing.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Should we jump into the news for idiots?
Let's jump into the news for idiots. Let's go.
Okay, so while I was gone, Miss Lady Gaga released her album Harlequin.
Speaking of red hair now, she has that bright red hair that's very like matted down. It's very clowny. It's very interesting. It's a cool look.
I mean, when she's out promoting Joker, it makes sense that she's going to do a clowny thing. And so Harlequin is the new Gaga record that she's referring to as LG 6.5. And this is an album of, I believe, mostly covers, definitely like more in the standard, jazz Gaga era than a lot of the albums like Chromatica or Fame Monster, things like that, but this seems more in line with Cheek to Cheek, but people were very excited. It was a tie-in with the movie. It was much like how Beyonce released The Gift as a companion piece to the Lion King live action film, and then Joker 2 was actually released, and this is a film that, regardless of what the director may say, was a musical. It's a musical.
Sure.
I
haven't even seen it yet, and I'm just like, this shit's a musical, girl.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, well, the thing is, it did make some money worldwide over the weekend. I believe it made over $100 million worldwide, but in the US, it did have a $40 million debut. This is, I think, lower than the $96 million that the Joker's original film made on its opening weekend 5 years ago. It was the same weekend, actually. So it didn't meet the expectations that they were hoping for. And also critically, I feel like the film has gotten like mixed to maybe partially negative reviews. But a lot of what I'm seeing is like the issue is not Gaga. If anything, she's a bright spot. She's underutilized, and just maybe the film just might not be as good as people were hoping. I feel like after A Star Is Born and everything, they're like, oh, maybe Gaga will get this acting Oscar nomination, and maybe she'll get even the win. And it seems like that may not happen. But again, with no fault of her own. I haven't seen the film yet. I don't think you've seen it yet either.
I haven't. I'm seeing it this upcoming week.
Okay, well, I'm excited to see your take on it, because I feel like the fans of the film and the Gaga fans and the fans of the original Joker are all coming after each other, and it's hard for me to figure out what was the issue.
Sure.
But everyone says, what I'm hearing and reading about, it seems like Gaga did what she was hired to do, and they maybe even cut out some of her scenes.
Yeah. I'm hearing from so many people that it's just the movie is just so not what people expected, which makes me so excited to see this movie, because I'm just like, well, then what the fuck is it? Like, I'm really kind of excited to see like what was done with it.
Yeah.
And the fact that there are people, I'm hearing so many stories of people who are going in now, after the trailer and all this press has been surrounding this movie for months and months and months, are still going in not knowing it's a musical.
Wild.
Okay, yes, even though the director said it wasn't a musical, blah, blah, blah. No, it's still not being, they're still surprised that they're singing and they're very furious about that. It's like, if you are going into Joker as a fan of Joker and you do not yet know that this is a musical, then maybe you aren't as big of a fan of Joker as you thought you were. So I just think that's very weird when people go into a movie and truly know and call themselves a fan. Because it's cool going into a movie if you don't know anything about it.
Sure.
I think that's wonderful and adventurous. And like, I try to do that occasionally.
Right.
But if it's weird to do that and yet still call yourself a huge fan of the franchise,
right.
you know? What I'm also hearing is that a lot of the footage that you see in the original trailers of Lady Gaga is just not in the movie. So people are very surprised by that. Some very cool visuals that people were excited about are just not in the movie. So I'm very surprised about that. I figure they would want to have as much Lady Gaga in there as humanly possible.
Totally.
But people are like, oh no, she's only in it for like 20 something minutes. And it's like, that's very shocking.
Yeah.
But I hear she does do an excellent job in it. So I am excited to see the movie because I love a movie that takes big swings. And so I'm all about that. I have nothing but admiration for that. And who knows where the chips may fall.
Yeah,
when I'm sitting in the theater. I might love it.
It might be your Babylon of the year.
Oh, I need one. You always need one Babylon every year.
Yes.
Where you're just riding for it so hard.
And not to talk about another movie I haven't seen yet, but one that I'm very excited to see, and I don't know if you've seen it already. I've only heard good things about My Old Ass, which is the new Aubrey Plaza film. And I don't know much about it. I know it's like the 18-year-old version of a girl is interacting with like the late 30s version of herself, who is played by Aubrey Plaza. And I just hear that it's amazing and heartwarming and, you know, very emotional. So I'm hoping to get to the theater to see that if they don't want to throw that on streaming soon. You know, I love a stream. But however it is, I can't wait to consume that piece of media. It just looks exciting.
I look at the cinephile here.
That's me. I became a cinephile in Europe.
I know you got to go see Megalopolis next.
Oh, I've heard bad things about that.
It's a time.
It's a time.
It's just wild.
American Idol. I believe he's one of the judges on American Idol. Luke Bryan. Is he the one that's on Idol?
You had this in the title of the podcast, and I was like, who's that?
He is a country artist for sure.
Okay.
And he reacted to Beyonce not getting nominated for any country music awards this year. And the country superstar gave his thoughts about Beyonce being shut out of nominations for her history-making Cowboy Carter album in an interview on Andy Cohen Live's radio show. Obviously, Beyonce made a country album. Beyonce has a lot of fans out there that have her back, and if she doesn't get something they want, man, they come at you, as fans should do. But Bryan said it's tough to say about exactly why Beyonce received 0 nominations. I mean, listen, I'm all for everybody coming in and making country albums and all that. But just by declaring that, just because she made one, he said, trailing off, Bryan added a lot of great music's overlooked. Sometimes you don't get nominated. Everybody loved Beyonce. That Beyonce made a country album. Nobody's mad about it. But where things get a little tricky, you know, if you're going to make country albums, come into our world and be country with us a little bit. Beyonce can do exactly what she wants to. She's probably the biggest star in music. But to come to an award show and high five us and have fun and get in the family too. Country music's a lot about family. Reading between the lines, it reads like, why were no Nashville like songwriters co-writes on these songs? Why are we not receiving any of this money? We are country music. And also, are we gonna say the quiet part out loud? We're talking about you guys are white. Like, it's the whiteness that is the problem. The fact that this was made by a black woman from Houston, Texas, by the way. Like, why should she have to like work with the country brass of 2024 when she's made an album that is so much more interesting than a lot of country music today? And the thing is, female artists don't even get played on country radio in 2024. So what is she going to get out of collaborating with these songwriters who don't even work with country female artists in the genre today? Or if they work with them, they don't get them played on the radio. Like, what would Kissing the Ring in this like weird group of whites do for Beyonce, who you just confirmed is the biggest star in the world? Like, you should be happy that she's doing a country something and want to highlight, wow, there's so many different forms of country.
Yeah.
Like, her twist on this was so inventive. Like, we should certainly award it. But
she was showing through this album that there are so many layers and colors to country.
Yes.
Like musically, so many different sounds. Country comes from so many different like parts of the country. And so that is something brilliant that the album does. And it's like, okay, listen, CMA's like, if all the voters are kind of just like, oh, we listened to the album and it's not our cup of tea, whatever, blah, 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 blah,
Right.
blah. It doesn't need all the nominations, but it's kind of just like Texas Hold'em, at least, is
beyond.
objectively a country song.
Period.
And it was objectively a hit. And there is
Absolutely.
nothing bad you can say about this song.
No way.
And like, you know, if you were to just nominate Texas Hold'em for like country song of the year, even if you decide it's not the best country song of the year, if you're a voter, whatever, you can vote for whatever you want. Like, still, like, it would kind of, you know, going in the nomination process, like, it would behoove you to
Yeah.
include Texas Hold'em. It's like,
Yes.
oh, there will be, and not that you should ever vote for anything because it'll get eyes on your ceremony, but it's kind of just like the snubbing of Texas Hold'em as a song, period, when it's such a specifically country song.
Right.
Also, like Two Most Wanted as well,
know.
something like that. It just feels pointed.
It
Like,
does.
we are excluding this pointedly.
Yes.
It feels like that.
Absolutely.
Because it was a hit. It was a huge hit.
Giant
It was number
hit.
one.
It's like the country headline of the year is Beyonce, and ignoring her just makes you look out of touch. It doesn't make it look like you're teaching her a lesson. And if that was your goal, CMA Awards, you're fucking weird. You're all fucking weird. I hate to do this.
Oh, no.
I need a second. I have to. My luggage did not get here, and I believe it might be here, and I need to get that fucking luggage.
Oh, guys, it's
One
happening.
second.
It's happening live on the podcast. This is insane.
Oh, I got to edit this out. It sucks.
You know what? Matt Palmer's, I'm going to be so entertaining chatting with the people that he is not going to have to edit shit. It's just me with the people here. This is the first time this has ever happened on the Two Gay Mats podcast, that someone showed up to the door with Matt Palmer's belongings, and he's greeting him now. I wonder what's in that luggage that's so important. You think he's smuggling some old Spanish artifact that he ripped off of a historical building and is smuggling into the United States? I don't know. He should do an unboxing where he opens up his luggage and tells us what's inside. I would be down for that. So, yeah. Oh, I can also do a Babylon chat. That's what maybe people are suggesting. Is it here?
It's not here.
Oh,
but
no.
It's on its way.
I literally had to talk to the people.
I know.
And
I
the
know,
luggage
it's hard
isn't
for you.
even here.
It'll be here very soon, but yes, I won't stop the podcast for many things, but the fact that my luggage is still in London and just flew in today, I'm going to need those clothes because all of my clothes are in that luggage. Hence why I didn't even look to see when the last time I wore this shirt was on this channel, because it was like, I only have so many shirts available to me
Sure.
that are clean and in my possession. So yes,
Listen.
I am here. I'm back.
As a Spice Girl fan, my heart is also still in London.
I know it.
We're all still in London.
We really
somewhere,
are.
You know?
So I'm glad the Spice Girls and my luggage are having the time of their
are
fucking
together.
lives. Okay, should we jump into the next News for Idiots headline?
Sure.
I guess I'll have to see what that is. Next up is Charli XCX.
Oh,
She has revealed the featured artist on the Brat remix album, which I believe comes out this Friday or next Friday. It comes out within the next 2 weeks. It's very exciting. Artists that are featured are including Addison Rae, Ariana Grande, A.G. Cook, BB Tricks, Billie Eilish, Bladee, Bon Iver, Caroline Polachek, John Hopkins, Julian Casablancas, Lorde, obviously, Robin, Shy Girl, The Japanese House, The 1975, Tinashe, Troye Sivan, and Young Lean. I'm most excited about Ariana Grande. She is featured on my favorite song on Brat, I would say. One of Sympathy is a Knife, but
Yeah.
also Tinashe on B2B, another one of my
oh,
favorites.
that's such a great song.
It's-
That's on the playlist at work. And
Oh.
I am such a little homosexual when it comes on. I am behind the bar.
Right.
Just singing those same lyrics over and over and over again.
That's the thing, is like you would think that we would be like, oh, it's just a chorus on loop. But when the chorus is that fucking solid, I want to hear that chorus on loop. I am so excited to hear it. I hope that Tinashe, like, even if she doesn't get a full music video treatment for B2B with Tinashe, I'm hopeful that Tinashe will make a little TikTok of her own, dancing her fucking ass off to B2B and her new verse on it, because that's what the people deserve to see. She is a performer, and that song is a song. 10 out of 10. I love that Ariana's on Sympathy Is a Knife because she certainly could have thrown her on one of the like kind of balladier moments of the album because Ariana is very much a vocalist, but I'm so excited to hear her on
But you know what? Vocalists deserve up-tempos as well.
They do. They absolutely do. And this is an up-tempo for the ages.
Yeah.
I am excited to hear those two specifically. And I'm sure all the Brat Summer girls who are mourning the loss of Brat Summer are so excited for this remix album, which will make it a Brat Autumn for some people out there.
Yeah. Why only for some people? Why not for everyone?
I mean, is it going to be a Brat Autumn for you?
I mean, I'll be hearing about it being a Brat Autumn.
You will.
So it will be.
It will be.
I will be on Twitter and people will be like, it's Brat Autumn.
Well, I don't know that we need it to be like a Brat Christmas. So other seasons, fine. At some point, it can't be a Brat every season, right? Like we need to have a Brat break.
Listen, it's a Brat world and we're all just living in it.
It's true.
We just changed the Katy Perry song. It's a Brat world and we're lucky to be living in it.
I can't believe you remember that melody. That's impressive. That album came out too. Did that come out before I left?
Yes.
Great.
Great.
I am so excited to talk about a Bravo-related story that I know that you care about.
Oh, this was so much fun.
I saw you talking about it on the Discord. But okay, let me explain to all of you out there, if you're not a Bravo watcher, there's going to be a new Housewives spinoff called Love Hotel, where I think 4 of the Real Housewives from past and current day, I think including Luann de Lesseps, Countess Luann, Ashley Darby, Giselle, and Shannon Bedore, who's on Real Housewives of Orange County. They filmed this spinoff, which is going to be essentially a dating show. It's going to be like Love Island, and those are the 4, main cast members that all these guys are going to be coming on to try and date. This is hosted by a comedian and actor and writer, Joel Kim Booster, super talented guy, and I guess filming for that show just wrapped up. The release date hasn't even been announced. They just have been filming it. And apparently Joel popped off on Instagram Live and had a lot to say about Shannon Bedore specifically. And all I have right now is the screenshot, because I don't think I saw the recording of his Instagram Live, but I saw the screenshot of his story. Let me read aloud. Just because you're a pathetic drunk on a reality television show best known for a string of failed relationships and a DUI does not make you a star and does not give you license to treat the people you work with like they are subhuman. Period. They will make me delete this, but DM me if you'd like to see some videos. Bezos.
Ooh, the DM and I will have personal contact with you to bring this woman down.
We have 2 more stories.
2 more stories.
Well, that was quick. Anyway, don't regret it and hope you screenshot it. Hope she suffers.
Oh.
Well, let's just say I can't imagine what John Jansen went through. Poor guy. Just so we're clear, John Jansen is Shannon Bedore's ex-boyfriend who is now suing her for $75,000. John Jansen's current girlfriend was brought back onto Housewives of Orange County, essentially to torture Shannon Bedore all season. The audience is very much Team Shannon at this very moment watching the season and very much anti-Alexis and John. So Joel coming out with this was wild. I'm of a few minds about this.
Okay, tell us all those minds.
Shannon's great on the show and is being treated terribly by Alexis and John this season. The rallying around her is very, very necessary, very good, and I understand it absolutely. There are moments on the show, because we're now watching her post DUI. This is a DUI in which she crashed into someone's house.
Yes, I remember that story.
Pretended to walk a dog to try and get out of it.
I forgot about that until you just reminded me of that image.
So I was thinking she's going to have a tough year. The audience is not going to be on her side. But truly, the way that like Tamra and Alexis and John are coming for her is so gross and disgusting that you are like, leave Shannon alone. She's going through it. But also, this is a woman who very recently had this drinking issue, and she's still very much drinking on camera, drinking on stage at her live shows that she's traveling around and doing while this show is being filmed, where you're just like, this doesn't look great, just like optics-wise, and I think the Bravo fans are so, like, we hate Alexis so much that they're very much coddling Shannon when on the show she's doing things that at least warrant some investigation. And I would not be surprised if what Joel is saying is true. Maybe she is not great to work with. Maybe she's unkind to the crew. So, and I don't think that behavior is okay. And I feel like we should know the different sides of Shannon. No one is perfect.
Yes.
But if I was the host of that damn
The
show.
face of a show.
That's not even out yet.
It's not even out yet. It's season. Well, people are going to fucking watch it now.
I mean, I assume it's coming out, but like, because of the legality behind the fourth Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, that's never been released. But that was more of a legal issue, and like there was an alleged sexual assault happening there. So hopefully that's not going to happen to Love Hotel, because that's what happened. But the network must be furious.
Oh my God.
Like, this is not the kind of PR you want for a show who's like, they clearly love Shannon Bedore enough to build another show around her and these other housewives. So like, to put her on blast in this way, just, it is not professional.
And not even just like acknowledging like, oh yeah, she was difficult, or saying like someone was difficult, blah, blah, blah. But like saying, hope she suffers.
Bad.
And DM me and I'll give you video footage of this. Like
Bad.
bad. It's like, don't you want to host a season 2?
Right.
Because that's the surest, firest way to not host a season 2.
Right.
If there's a season 2, and maybe he doesn't want to host a season 2. Maybe he's like, "Fuck this, I'm done. I'm not working with any housewives. They're crazy." But still, like the hope she suffers. And just here's the thing: if you're gonna post on your Instagram story just a long written paragraph, chances are it usually comes across as more unhinged than not.
Right.
And so it's like, think maybe before it happens. I get maybe you're upset. I'm sure people were treated hardly in some capacity.
Yes.
And that's never okay.
Right.
But still, there's like, it, as Michelle said, when they go low, we go high.
Right. And Michelle's not doing that anymore. But
that was a different era.
It was a different era. But
you know, those were that was an environment that was higher stakes. This is still low stakes.
It is.
You can still go high in these stakes.
And it's also like, you can truly just think about it selfishly. Like, he's a frequent guest on Watch What Happens Live. I'm sure he wants to be in the NBC Universal universe and like do more things with them. And this is just going to be a big red flag when they are deciding whether or not to hire this very talented person. And so this would have stayed in the group chat for me personally. But again, not to be, look at everything from all sides. I will say, Housewives fans who are so gleefully jumping down his throat and like saying really horrible things to Joel about this, there's something that I believe gay men have against more successful gay people, where they look at them and they see, that should be me. Why can't I do that? So when someone makes a public misstep like this, they go full throttle with the hate towards them in a way that I'm like, you need to fucking chill. Because as much as he was unhinged to do that, you guys are unhinged doing
You're
this.
all fucking unhinged.
Like, you don't know this man, and like, you could say, oh, that's not what I would do, not super professional, but like, to attack him for like a diagnosis that he has been public about, to attack him and like use anti-gay slurs, even if you're being funny or trying to like, you're a gay person in general.
Even like the housewives, like the gay stereotypes that they are throwing at him, like calling him like a G-head.
This
and
is
like
what I'm
stuff
saying.
like that. It's a little much. Everyone's just crazy. It's like, guys, take a deep breath. But yeah, there is very much, I feel like within the gay community, very much like, oh, well, he's more successful than me. There's a little bit of that going on with anyone when they're successful, I feel. And so there's a sentiment of, well, I never liked him. I knew all along, like, he was probably this or this or this. And it's like, you know what? I don't know. And for all we know, he could be, who knows, but you don't know either.
Right.
So like, there's not much we can say about this other than it's messy.
It's very messy.
And I think people are acting poorly on all sides. Not to all sides this,
I know.
I think there's poor behavior to go around.
Absolutely. So I am hopeful, and I feel like it's calmed down since this has happened.
Yeah. It was a day's worth of Twitter fodder, and then the gays moved on their merry way.
Right. But it was a shock.
It was
a shock. Did you watch the VP debate?
I did. Yeah.
How was it?
It was good. It was interesting because they were like actually debating topics, like, and they were like sort of finding like ways to like agree with each other. Granted, like JD Vance was objectively lying about certain like JD Vance got up on that fucking stage and was just like, oh yes, you know, when Trump tried to save Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act, and it's like that absolutely fucking did not happen. He tried to tear down the Affordable Care Act, and the only reason why it stayed was because John McCain went into the Senate was just like, you're not striking this down.
Right.
Like just making up all of this insane shit that was like objectively not true. But you can tell he went in with the goal of just like, listen, nobody likes me. Like, I have such horrible approval ratings. All I need to do is appear relatively presidential, and that will be the win for me.
Totally.
Doesn't matter what I say. So you can tell he was going in just being like, just say whatever and just appear presidential. And Tim Walz is just like wonderful. Like, he's just a wonderful guy. He knows his shit. Like, and it was just nice seeing, even though JD Vance did play the role of like the more polished politician, I would say the polls are showing that more people are just like, nah, but Tim Walz won. And when Tim Walz got him on just like, do you think the 2020 election was legitimate or whatever, and JD Vance like couldn't answer, and Tim Walz is like, that's a damning answer. Good night, ladies and gentlemen, take a fucking bow, that's all you need.
That was the clip I saw, and that I saw was going around, and it's like, wow, you literally still can't fucking say it. And I know he's clearly been instructed, do not say that we lost that election, but you did, and the American people know it, and you all sound insane by not just coming out and admitting it. It just, I don't understand what's happening over there, but I'm glad Tim Walz his approval ratings went up.
And he did a phenomenal job like talking about healthcare and abortion rights. And it was just crazy hearing JD Vance literally every single thing that was an issue that he was being asked about. He was just like, well, you know why climate change is happening? Because of people crossing the border. And it's like, what are you talking
how is that
about?
Related?
Like you just know, like appear polished and presidential and keep bringing up this one topic.
Right.
Like it was just insane, but it was interesting watching a debate where there wasn't a babbling buffoon up there and having two people that seemed relatively normal,
right?
Having an actual like discussion about substance, you know,
what a world,
and not trying to just like, because you know Trump, it's just like I'm just trying to like bulldoze through everything,
right?
And like Hillary and Joe Biden and Kamala are literally just like, I got to bring this back on track. I got to like get my points across, or else this guy will just bulldoze me, you know. So it was nice seeing like two guys who, you know, they were able to go back and forth, and it was like, remember this?
Oh, right. And then I saw the clip of, I don't know if I actually saw it, but I read about JD Vance saying like, you guys said you weren't going to fact check.
Oh my God, that was so insane. It's just like, wow, way to tell on yourself.
I know. It's like, so you just can't, you heard they're not going to fact check. So it's like, oh, then I can lie.
Yeah. They literally like got him on something and he was just like, you guys said you wouldn't fact check. It's like, oh, so what they were saying was a fact.
Right.
Like what the moderators were saying is a fact that you were lying about. So he's a flop.
Everyone check your voter registration.
Check your voter registration.
And my ballot's in the mail. Vote early, and if you can. And if not, vote on election day. It means a lot.
It means a lot. Kamala.
Daniel Day-Lewis is ending his 7-year retirement to star in his son's film. He'll be the lead in his son's directorial debut, which he co-wrote. And the film explores intricate relationships between fathers, sons, and brothers. Are there women in this movie?
And brothers.
There clearly are no women in this movie. No, I guess I see a couple of women listed. They round out the cast, but I'm not sure what they do.
They round it out. They're decoration.
Sure.
You know, listen, did anyone really believe Daniel Day-Lewis when he said he was retiring? It's like, this guy's going to be in a movie at some point. He was just taking a long vacation. You know how you went to Spain for 2 weeks?
Yes.
This was his trip to Spain, except he can afford the luxury of going for several years.
And I cannot.
And he cannot. And so I'm excited to know that Daniel Day-Lewis's son is a director. I think that's cool. I'd love to see what he's got up his sleeve. And I imagine it's weird, like, your son is directing you in a movie.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Like, are you going to, like, give him notes? Like,
because he must, right?
I don't know. Like, is like Daniel Day going to give his son notes? Like, hey, like, maybe we should do this, or like, hey, like as a director, you should do this. Because, you know, Daniel Day's been very experienced, and I'm sure his son has directed other stuff before, but that must just be an interesting dynamic. And also, Daniel Day being fucking character the whole time.
Oh, God.
So
I forgot about that.
So he might forget that he's his son all along
Well,
and just be like, listen, motherfucker. And he's like, Dad, it's just me.
I know. Hopefully the director can just be like, Dad, fucking drop him.
Dad.
Just be normal.
Just be fucking normal for me, okay? I'm nervous. This is my first time.
I know.
Yeah.
In more good news, Olivia Rodrigo's Guts World Tour concert special is coming to Netflix. It's coming out 2 days before Halloween on October 29th. I'm excited for that because the small moment that I thought, oh, maybe I could go see Olivia Rodrigo this tour. Maybe she's playing bigger venues. And then the kids bought up every ticket the moment they went on sale. It's like, okay, this is a great way for me to experience this young lady live. Because again, Guts is an album I revisit a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I hear that show is great. So I can't wait to see it from the comfort of my own home.
It's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be
you
lovely.
Love doing stuff from the comfort of your own home.
I really do. It's
Could
my
never
favorite
be me.
thing. It's my favorite thing. Never want to leave. Sabrina Carpenter is going to be on the ballot for Best New Artist, even though this is her 6th album. I forget the exact rules. I think it is you could not have been nominated for a Grammy previously. Because I feel like some people are not able to say that this is their breakthrough year. Like I think Whitney Houston back in the day was not able to say that she was a nominee for Best New Artist after her debut album came out because she had done a duet, I think, with Jermaine Jackson. That could be wrong, but like she had done a duet that was Grammy nominated prior to her debut as a solo artist. And so unfortunately, even though her debut, Whitney Houston, was monumental, she could not be nominated for Best New Artist. So
they're saying they're lying harder than JD Vance. They're saying that you can't have been nominated for a Grammy and you can qualify for Best New Artist. But it's like, well, the rule should be you can't have been eligible to be nominated for a Grammy.
Well, those aren't the rules.
Because it's like there are several artists who are, famous, I guess, who have never been nominated for a Grammy before, but they wouldn't be new artists. Grammys.
I know.
This is some rules stretching.
Yeah, apparently the rules change all the time. They're constantly evolving, but nominations are going to be announced on November 8th, and final voting is from December 12th through January 3rd, and then the Grammys are going to air on from the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles on February 2nd, 2025.
Beautiful. I also just find it interesting. It's just like we're kind of stretching these. Well, we've been stretching these like Best New Artist rules for several years now, but it's kind of like she'll, even if she wasn't eligible for Best New Artist, she'll get other nominations.
Beyond.
There's no worry about that.
Right.
So why stretch these rules for certain people? I don't know.
Right.
But
it's an
you know what? Stakes aren't that high.
They're really not.
They will only be high when Beyonce is
I
nominated.
know, when Album of the Year is announced.
Yeah.
In news that should be a shock to no one, there's going to be, this part's, I guess, a little shocking because I don't understand it. There's going to be a new Chiefs-specific wives and girlfriends show on Bravo, which follows some wives and girlfriends that their husbands or boyfriends are on the Kansas City Chiefs. And then it came out this week that Taylor Swift is not going to be on the show. And it's like, duh.
Yeah,
you think Taylor Swift is going to be on a Bravo C-level reality show? She's the biggest star in the world. Why do we need a People magazine article about this? Brittany Mahomes isn't going to be on it either. She is the wife of Patrick Mahomes, who is friends with Taylor and liked a Donald Trump Instagram or whatever. And so I am not at all surprised by either of this. Of these announcements. Maybe Brittany Mahomes, they could have probably thrown a lot of money at her and she would have done it.
Sure.
There
was
no
way.
World.
Taylor's not even going to make a special appearance
Why
on this
would
shit.
she?
Absolutely not. But they're probably just like, ooh, but they might all talk about
oh my
well,
God.
I was hanging out with Taylor at the game the other night.
Right.
And the whole series is probably just going to be a bunch of conversations about how they hung out with Taylor Swift. And that's maybe what they're banking on for the show being relatively successful.
Positive they're going to show pictures of all of them with Taylor's face blurred out, but you'll know it's Taylor. But Taylor's not going to give the thumbs up to show it. It just seems
you'll just see the blurry red lip.
Yes,
it'll look like a big red splotch, and you're like, "That's Taylor."
I don't
that
get
red lip.
Why this show is happening. Bravo also has never there have been wives and girlfriend shows on of sports people on a VH1, but this doesn't really feel like Bravo's brand. So it just seems like an odd choice. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe I'll watch it, maybe I won't.
Why not just make Real Housewives of Kansas City and just have them all be Chiefs people?
I mean, that's the thing is that's probably what's going to end up happening. I feel like whenever they announce a woman-led ensemble cast on Bravo, it's always going to be something that's not Housewives. And then at the end of the day, we're calling it Housewives just because the brand is fucking strong. So why would you not make it a Housewives thing? So we'll see what it is.
Yeah, and then 5 years later, Joel Kim Booster will be angry at them about something.
Yes, and we'll hope that they suffer. Yeah. Did you see that the Devil Wears Prada sequel is officially happening?
I'm excited.
Filming begins in November, and Meryl, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci are all reportedly set to return. The sequel sees Miranda struggle with the end of her career as the traditional magazine market declines. And in more, Anne Hathaway revival news, The Princess Diaries 3 is in the works with at Disney with director Adele Lim. This is the scribe who worked on Crazy Rich Asians and Joyride. She's working on the Princess Diary 3. So I guess that's exciting.
Is Julianne Drews attached to that?
I'm not seeing that anyone is attached to that.
Okay, well, how about we attach Julianne Drews?
Okay, I'll text Anne and be like, hey,
Text Anne.
the people want Julianne Drews. But Anne Hathaway confirmed she's coming back for it.
Okay, great.
Which, makes sense. So I love that she's going to be popping out in a bunch of sequels coming soon,
Love it.
Because justice for Anne. Remember when everyone said they hated her for no reason?
Oh, that was a horrible era.
It was a horrible time.
It was just like, she's just like nice and talented.
Right.
Like,
it's like, she's a theater kid.
how dare she be nice and talented?
Right.
It's like,
and I don't know, wouldn't it make sense that the theater kids become actors as adults? I don't know wwhy that was so off-putting to people. I don't get it.
I like people because it was very much an era of like the Jennifer Lawrences where it's like, oh no, she tells fart jokes and she's real and blah 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 blah. And so Anne Hathaway, I guess, felt. Anne Hathaway, she didn't feel. She just is a genuine person,
right? And
is nice and everything. But I guess she wasn't considered edgy enough at the time, and so they were just oh, she's probably so fake. And as the years have gone on, they've realized, oh no, she was pretty just genuine,
right?
That's just her, and she's great,
right?
And
I mean, then they turned on Jennifer Lawrence,
and then they turned on Jennifer Lawrence, being oh well, this whole act is all fake. Listen. People just turn on everybody.
They do.
But we will never turn on each other.
No, we would never. How could we? If we were going to, it would have happened.
It would have happened a long ass time ago, guys. And we don't live together anymore. So if I get mad at you, I can just go to my apartment.
I'm going to put an Instagram story up tomorrow. I hope he suffers. Apparently there's going to be an Abbott Elementary and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia crossover episode. Both shows are set in Philadelphia. But I'm also interested because isn't It's Always Sunny kind of like a raunchy show? How is this going to cross over with Abbott, which is truly the most family-friendly show on television and also loveliest?
Listen, dude, they're just going to have the cast do something a little bit together.
All right.
It's not going to be the most deep, but it will be fun. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Has that show not been running for 5,000 years?
Oh, it has.
Every time someone brings it up, I'm just I feel like this is running longer than Grey's Anatomy at this point.
I think it is on season 19.
Wow.
I know.
It is going and going and going. It is good for them.
Yes, it is absolutely still going strong. And then lastly, in sad Broadway news, Tony Award-winning actor Gavin Creel passed away at 48 on September 30th. He is known for performances in Thoroughly Modern Millie, Hair, and The Book of Mormon, and many more. And he passed away after a short battle with a rare cancer at 48. Just terrible.
This is the most shocking thing I will wake up to in 2024. I will never forget opening up my phone in the morning and just seeing a picture and just my mind being blown. This is so sudden and so devastating.
Yes.
I mean, Gavin Creel was just the epitome of talent. I will never forget. He burst onto the scene as the lead in Thoroughly Modern, the romantic lead, Jimmy, in Thoroughly Modern Millie, starring opposite Sutton Foster. And he was the landmark contemporary musical theater leading man of of what is now considered the leading man musical theater character of the 2000s.
Right.
Before there was Aaron Tveit or Jonathan Groff or Jeremy Jordan or any of those pretty boys with pretty tenor voices. It was Gavin Creel. Gavin Creel was the blueprint of that. Because before it was very much leading men on Broadway, it's more give me a rich baritone and everything and a little bit older and seasoned. But Gavin Creel was just I am young, I am hot, and my voice is fucking gorgeous and
Wow.
soaring to the clouds because the tenor is perfection. And so he was the opening the door of all of that. And so it's just devastating. I know he was diagnosed with this nerve cancer in July. And I want to say I remember seeing something about that, posted in the news and being like, oh, that's so sad. But thinking, but he's so young
Right.
and he'll get the treatment he needs
Right.
and we'll all be on our merry way and everything. And so it was so shocking to see that it took him so suddenly. It's devastating. I know a lot of other people have passed away. I know Ken Page, who was a giant Broadway actor, passed away. Like it's been a rough year,
Yeah.
a devastating year. So hearts go out to him and just everyone.
Yes. Everyone who loved him.
You never know when it's your time.
It's true. Matt Steele, do you have any other news for idiots for us this week?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, let's take a quick break and then we'll be back with more 2K Mats, the podcast.
Bye.
Not
Or not
bye.
bye.
God.
Hola.
Hola, indeed. Oh, I have to edit when I had to go and check on the back. I never edit this shit.
Fuck it.
Did we get emails?
I want to say we got one like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, cute. Amazing singer gone way too soon. He was the blueprint. Loved him in Eloise at Christmas time.
Like it's like he is the reason why like Broadway's leading men right now are like hot young tenors.
Wow.
Like it's Gavin
like the Aaron
Creel.
Tveit.
Yes.
Wow.
Like,
Jeremy Jordan wouldn't be here if it weren't for Gavin. I'm not sure if you're aware. Diamond is a very popular place to visit, but I feel like the new Princess Diaries will feature a new teen. We aren't interested in becoming a princess, and I don't know if I want to see that. That's funny. I just watched Mariah's AMA performance. Oh, how'd she do? She looked beautiful in the clip that I saw. And was it just We Belong Together? There was no Don't Forget About Us?
the AMAs are happening right now.
I think yes.
Cute.
I know. 50th anniversary of the AMAs.
I never know what the AMAs are.
I mean, they're just an award show.
Love it.
Music.
We love.
Mariah's got a bunch of the AMAs, so she loves them, and I love them too. Mini email my heart after rewatching You've Got Mail in the Lake House. It got me thinking. What's your favorite work, husband and wife on screen? Meg and Tom, Keanu and Sandra, etc. Favorite movie they've done. There was a little Don't Forget About Us intro. Princess Diary made me want to use a diary. Oh, that's cute. I'm like trying to think if I can think of a. Are you guys watching RHOP this season? I'm gonna give it another shot. I had to stop last season because it just had gotten so toxic. The two sides of the show weren't interacting. I'm gonna miss Candace, even though remember back in season 5 I really didn't like her, but she's so funny. But I understand they had to do some shakeups to get the group to be a group again, and so I'm going to give it a go. I'm gonna give it a try. The new Princess Diaries will be about our Midwest princess, Chapel Roan. That's funny. Hi, 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Do y'all get Sunday scaries? Absolutely. I mean, but this Sunday I'm too tired to get anything but hopefully my luggage from LAX.
Hopefully the luggage is coming, guys.
Like my plan is finish this podcast as it's being edited and uploading, go get some Chipotle, eat that Chipotle, upload this podcast, and go directly to bed. Nope, I love standards. They don't have to play married couple, just a romantic duo on screen that have done a few movies together. I mean, I think of Tom Hanks and
Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan first.
Sure.
When I think of that. But I also haven't seen You've Got Mail in a minute. I don't think I've ever seen Sleepless in Seattle is them too, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that. But my memory of You've Got Mail is very positive.
My memories are positive.
Very positive. My feelings very positive. Have you seen Long Legs?
No, I haven't.
No,
I
I've
didn't get
not
to see
seen
Long
that.
Legs. I hear it was crazy though.
I know you two don't watch TV. I watch TV,
Yeah,
but
he
any
watches
thoughts
TV.
on the Ryan Murphy mess? I mean, I don't know. I'm not plugged into it enough to really give
Yeah,
my
I don't know
feedback.
enough about the Menendez brothers.
Right. But I feel like between that and a previous project, I feel like he's gotten some feedback from people that were actually involved in those, events, being
Sure.
like, we don't like this. And I think that's feedback we should listen to.
It's fair.
Right. But yeah, I've only watched one episode of that previous series that featured Mr. Steele. And I have seen none of them in Ninda's one.
Oh, you mean Gaga's about to put out a full new album again? Apparently
in February. OMG, you need to do a reaction of Sleepless in Seattle. It's a classic.
I've never seen Sleepless in Seattle.
I guess we got to watch it.
it.
Yes, burgers and fries.
Burgers and
Thumbs up. I love a burger. I love a fry.
Jennifer Hudson's Whitney tribute was nice.
Oh, at the AMA, she had a Whitney tribute? Did she do Run to You? For some, like, did she do that on Idol or something? Why? I have a memory of her singing Run to You. Or wait, singing I Have Nothing. But I don't know if, I'm going to just Google Jennifer Hudson, I Have Nothing. And
Gwen
see
Stefani new album next month.
Yeah, but it's country. And not that that means
we
bad.
love country.
We do, but like country with like a Blake Shelton duet. And I'm just like, I don't care.
If it's just one duet, maybe.
I know, but what if he co-wrote all the songs? I don't know.
Listen, Taylor Swift not at Travis's birthday.
We can't keep up with that, guys.
Is it Travis's birthday? I don't know.
Isn't she on tour? Whatever. I think they're fine.
Guys, they're fine. I think Travis is the one.
She did do I Have Nothing on Idol. Okay, great. I don't know if he's the one. It would be nice if he were the one.
I think she has a fuck ton of fun with him.
I think that's true.
And I kind of think what I'm like gathering from like all of this is kind of just like I'm making up a Taylor story in my head. I don't want to speak on behalf of her, but I could see her being
Who's
like
this Chapel fan over here?
Her being like, this is what I've been missing all along.
Right.
Like, just like I love spending time with him and being a part of this world that's new and fascinating and interesting. Because like when she dates other artists, it's like, yeah, it's wonderful when artists date each other and find things in common. But maybe it's just because I'm very much someone who I enjoy like my dream guy is very much the opposite of me because I love being fascinated by people who are into different things. I find that very exciting, and I love it when they're fascinated by me.
Yeah.
And like what I do, and we can teach each other stuff. And so I'm like, maybe that's what she has discovered she's wanted all along too.
It could be.
So I don't know.
I mean, I hope she's happy no matter what. I just hope she's going to end up with the right person.
And also, he's very much a boyfriend who, like, he knows what he's got.
Yes.
He knows he's got a
Absolutely.
fucking great girl, and he's just like, I'm holding on to this.
Yes.
Like, she's wonderful, and I'm so lucky to be invited to the party.
Which is a good place to be because I feel like a lot of people could be intimidated by her success or, like, undervalue her. Or, like, even just, like, the intimidation comes out as undervaluing because it's like, well, you're not that great. Or like, I'm an artist too. And like, I think you should behave like this, X, Y, Z. And I don't think that's Travis at all.
No, and you can tell he very much values what she does. And you can also tell she very much values what he does.
Right.
Like, she's like, this is really cool. And I'm like, admire your like work ethic and all that. Again, I'm speaking on behalf of her. I don't know if this is a conversation they've had.
Right.
It's like, Travis, I really admire your work ethic, how you throw those balls.
I mean, we all heard So High School. So.
I know. Like, I don't know.
They seem happy.
Yeah.
Rihanna's next album is also country. Where'd you hear that? How do you know that?
A Rihanna country album would kick so much ass. Like that. The CMAs, if they're not ready for Cowboy Carter,
they would freak.
They would freak.
Because you know she'd be like, my tits are going to be out for this.
Yes. Oh, yes. That is what I fucking want.
I just watched Gaga and Madonna's VMA performances yesterday, and I'm mad they didn't win the VMA. I mean, yeah, we talked about it, but there are many VMA performances that we all have watched a million times for good reason. Katie is not.
Matt Steele, thoughts on Real Housewives of New Jersey? I love where they live. And I wish them the best. I know nothing else.
I don't know if that show is going to get fully rebooted, if they're just going to fire half the cast, because they're also in a situation where half the cast doesn't speak to the other half.
Sure.
And it's like, well, you got to do something. It's been like this for 2 or 3 seasons.
Yes, pizza and fries.
Yes. I love Vivian with the emojis tonight. I love it.
Is that what we're eating? Burgers and pizza and fries?
I'm eating Chipotle. I'm eating Chipotle. I'm certainly not making food. Not that we have food here. Been gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, that's so annoying when you like go away and you're just like, oh, I have to eat all this fucking food because I can't let it spoil.
I know. And it's also like I can't buy more food because it'll spoil. So it's
So what do I do? That reminds. It's like how many apples do I have? And I'm leaving for Jersey in 5 days.
Are you available Wednesday night if you wanted to?
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. You want to film? Are you free Wednesday
I'm
night
free Wednesday.
to film?
I don't think I have anything.
Okay, great. We have to come up with a video idea.
Yeah.
Guys, what should we do for a video idea for next week? While I'm gone. I'm late, but did Matt Palmer see Mariah's exceptional performance?
I have not seen it yet, but I saw a clip. And
We just assume it was exceptional.
I mean, of course it was.
Oh yeah, I just found out recently that there's a director who is also named Matt Palmer, a film director.
Hey, that could be me. I love film.
It could be. Have you been a director this whole time?
Secrets.
Using not even a pseudonym?
Absolutely. just to really surprise everybody.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun.
Okay. Do we have email?
We got 3.
We got 3. Okay.
Got 3.
All right. Should we do part 2?
Yes.
Fall asleep. Okay.
Okay, guys. It is soon going to be nap time for Matt Palmer.
Yes.
As he is falling asleep before my very eye.
I am.
But before that happens, Matt Palmer, give the people the ad because it's very important.
Guys, thank you so much for watching or listening to the podcast. We really want this podcast to reach as many eyes and ears as possible, and you can help us with that by going to Spotify or Apple Podcasts and leaving us a 5-star rating or review. It helps us so much with the algorithm. We want as many people to listen or watch the podcast as possible. It would mean so much to us, and we do only accept 5 stars. If you have anything negative to say, email yourself about it. We don't want to hear about it, and we certainly don't want to see it on the podcast app. And if you really love us, go to patreon.com/2gaymats, where you get extra bonus content from us very often. You also can join the Discord, chit chat with us all the live long day. I was chit chatting in there even when I was in Spain.
You were?
Because I was like, I have things to say. I've woken up early on accident, and Jackson's not up yet, so I'm just going to go to the bathroom, watch some Housewives, and talk on my Discord. And it was lovely. It was a really lovely time. So join patreon.com/2gaymats and help support the pod.
Yes.
Yes.
So now we are on to Email My Heart, and this is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com. 2 is spelled TWO, and we have 3 emails that we can get through. So the first question comes to us from Lily. It comes to me in particular, not so much Matt Palmer, because it's
Hurtful, Lily.
Sorry, Lily, but it's a Big Brother question.
Oh.
How do you win Big Brother? I know there is social play and gameplay, and you have to betray your alliances to get to the top. So how does one win? Why would people vote for you to win that you betrayed? What traits have you noticed about past winners, and what could be your gameplay if you were ever cast? I'm watching this season for the first time, and I'm just trying to understand who is a front runner to win it all. Thanks. For Matt Palmer, I'm watching Summer House as well for the first time, and I'm curious what you think filming will be like for Lindsay and Carl, especially now that Lindsay is pregnant with someone else. Awkward. Also, are we supposed to root for Amanda and Kyle? Because so far, I just keep asking myself, why is Amanda with Kyle? She could do so much better. Do you want to go first?
I'll go first because it's quick. I think Lindsay and Carl.
Mine won't be quick.
Lindsay and Carl are at this point professional reality stars. I believe they're going into like the 8th season of Summer House or something, and they've been on since the beginning. And seeing as they get raises every season, this is both of their primary sources of income. So they're going to stay in that house and not talk to each other. These are the couple that like had a broken engagement at the end of last season, and now Lindsay's pregnant with another man's baby. So I'm sure they will live separate lives within that house, smile, and, engage each other only when needed. It's going to be awkward, but nobody wants to give up that paycheck. Kyle and Amanda are an interesting duo. It's interesting that they got married. Interesting that they're still married. I hope that it works off screen in a way that we do not see on screen, because he talks to her so crazily sometimes on camera in a way that I'm like, God, I would never accept this. And so I hope Amanda, I don't know, I hope she has the strength to, if she does want to leave. I also, we hope that everything happens the way they want it to, but I think it's something to note and maybe could make that process easier if they decide to go their separate ways. The fact that they do not have any kids yet. So we'll see what happens. I don't think we're supposed to be rooting for them. I hope that whatever they both want and what is best for both of them happens for both of them. But I think you are seeing what we are also seeing.
Okay.
All right.
Fair. Good eyes, Lily. So Lily, I'm glad you are also watching this season of Big Brother. So you already know the basic premise. There's a head of household and they nominate 2 people. The whole house votes for someone to leave. Then they have a new head of household competition, and the same cycle happens over and over again. And since you've never seen the show before, you don't yet know how someone wins. What happens is the people who were most recently eliminated, they get down to the final 2. And those people who were most recently eliminated, the previous 7 people, go to the jury house. They deliberate who they think played the best game, and they vote for the winner. The great thing that I love about Big Brother is yes, like the name of the game is like you want to make deals. Sometimes you have to backstab and everything. But the thing I love about Big Brother is that every winner is so different in how they win. And all of that is determined by what the makeup of the jury is like. So some people like backstab a lot and like totally betray people, get a lot of blood on their hands, as they call it. And the jury is like, you know, they're pretty cool. They're just like, yeah, they fucking did it. I'm mad at them, but I got to give it to them. And they give them the win. But sometimes the jury, like they got backstabbed so hard, and they maybe happen to be people who are a little bitter sometimes, which I do not say pejoratively, because every juror is allowed to make their own decision and vote how they want. But sometimes they're just like, this person, their social game was bad. They had bad what they call jury management, which means they didn't take into account enough people's feelings in the jury. So I'm going to vote if there's another person next to them in the final two chairs that they feel also played a pretty good strategic game or maybe had better jury management, they'll vote for that person instead. So it all depends on what the jury is. And so a way that you win in the final two is knowing what you have to know your individual house guests so well, and you have to gauge, is this person going to be a little bitter or is this person going to be like, you know what, it's fair game, it's fine. So you really have to gauge what your jury members look like and how they will win. Some people have won the game by, you know, being an underdog and like winning a bunch of competitions and really fighting their way to the top, and that's what the jury will vote for. Sometimes people have won not necessarily for playing the most like dynamic game, but for playing the most consistent and pragmatic game. Sometimes people win for like being the head of an alliance the whole time. Sometimes people win for like being at the bottom the whole time and like somehow surviving, you know? So it changes every single year. As far as this year goes, Chelsea is by a mile playing the best game in terms of all aspects. She has been the one like controlling so many things. She's been convincing so many people, MJ specifically recently, to like change their minds. And Chelsea's just been getting what she wanted. She has a solid social game, like a good standing with people. She's betrayed people enough, but hasn't been so cruel with the betrayal that I don't think this jury will be bitter. Chelsea's playing a phenomenal game. She's getting everything she wants. She's great. So, yeah.
Is this your 2 gay minutes?
No.
Okay, just making sure because it sounds a lot like a 2 gay minutes.
Yeah,
to me.
no. So yeah. So the thing I like about every season is that every winner is very different, depending on the jury and depending on the final two. So watch every season. Okay.
Yeah, not a big ask at all.
Not
Watch
a big
every
ask.
season.
Not a big ask. Okay, so next question comes from Cam. So Cam says, can he love me and Jesus? Howdy, guys. My best friend of 10 years, who is straight, I am gay, was one of my favorite drinking buddies. Over the years, he started to realize his drinking was getting just a little too out of hand. In 2 months, he enlisted in a Christian rehab center. While he was in, I made sure to send him encouraging texts, even though he couldn't use his phone, and made sure to check on his girlfriend and their daughter to make sure they didn't go without. When he got out a little under a month ago, things went for a huge turn. All of a sudden, he's plastering Christian messages and Bible verses everywhere, which is fine, but it was a little jarring. He got upset with me twice because I turned down going to a recovering addict Bible study with him, and the huge thing was him telling me I needed to find Christ and how homosexuality is wrong. I explained to him I'm a Christian too, and I'm proud of his life change, but he should maybe ease up on me a little bit. This really hurt his feelings and made him upset. That hurt my heart a little. I'm just at a point where I don't know if we can do this anymore. Would you guys hang in there and continue the friendship, or would you break ties? Thanks in advance for the advice, Cam. I am so sorry this is happening.
I am too.
It's very hard, especially because I know you have so much empathy for your friend.
Yeah, and you have such a history together.
Yeah.
Break ties. I'm sorry. I know Matt Steele's going to say something different about like keeping things whatever, and I think that's lovely and beautiful. If you are going to say the essence of me, the fact that I am now an out gay person, which I came to after long thoughts, and you as a Christian, you were, I'm sure, prayed about it, and you have, your whole personhood is like, I have landed on this because this is who I am and I'm going to live my life authentically. That's not up for debate. that's not, I don't need your feedback on it. And if you're going to be here trying to convert me to not be who I am, then the friendship's already gone. Like, if you don't respect what I am telling you, and if you cannot be in my corner and support me in my personhood, like, I exist, this is how I move in the world, and it's really not up for debate. You can have, like, I guess you can have opinions on it, but like, I truly don't care. Like, to me, this is not something that we, like, again, I feel like I always see those memes where it's like, why can't we like have political disagreements and like we can't still be friends? And it's like, well, we can about pizza toppings, bitch, but not like my right to exist. Or like, if you are going to be trying to convince me to live an inauthentic life, you can be cut out immediately, no matter who you are in my book, because that is like, I don't know. That to me is sacred. It's something you came to after a long talk with yourself, and like, you should be proud to live authentically. And if someone's trying to pull you back in the closet, that it doesn't sound like any friend I would want to have.
Yeah. I listen. The thing that strikes me about this email, though, specifically, is the fact that this hasn't even been going on for a month. I think I think it is very, very soon to just completely be like, oh, well, fuck you, I'm never speaking to you again. Me personally, because to me, I know that he's going through something, and I would distance myself a bit. I would check in. How are you doing? How are things going? And if the months go by and it keeps coming up, well, first of all, I would just say outright, listen, no, I'm not going to not be like, I can't not be a homosexual. Like,
right.
Like, no, I like, and you need to say to him, like, this is very hurtful to me, which I think you said already. And I would distance myself a little bit and be like, let's give him some space, just because he's trying to figure so much out. And there are some people who, like, when they go through an experience like this, it really sort of discombobulates them and they need to sort of like settle in again. So I would distance myself, yes, but I don't think we're so deep in the trenches that I would necessarily cut ties, like a hard cut tie. I would still maybe wait however many weeks and then be like, how are things going? How are you feeling? Just as simple as that. See what happens from there, and then gauge it from there.
Yeah, and in even pre-cutting ties, you could say, hey, this isn't up for debate, and like, do not come to me with this again. Yeah. I'm not interested in hearing your opinion on it unless it's supportive, because this is not up to you, not up for debate. And if he respects that, then maybe there's a friend that can be salvaged. Yeah. But if he continues to try to cross the line and say, I'm trying to save you or whatever, then they're...
I would also, it seems like you have a relatively decent relationship with his wife as well. Like maybe just sort of be like, I don't know what you could do. Like, ask the wife, like, is he okay? He said this to me. It was hurtful. Maybe that wife could vouch for you. Like, or the wife could at least be aware of, like, sort of like I mean, I'm sure she's noticing changes that are happening with her husband as well, and see how she feels about it. I would do a bit of a distance, which is a good thing. Like, if a friend's going through a moment, sometimes just to have, regardless of what it is. But yeah, tread very light.
Right. I would say draw a hard boundary.
Draw a boundary
of like, you are not to come to me with this ever again. And let's see if he respects it.
Yeah. And see what happens from there.
Right.
Yeah. There are definitely I have a good friend from college who has gotten into some very strange things, and I have not talked to her in a long time, and some things that she has like started talking about, I'm just like, I can't engage with this. This is very scary, and it's very upsetting because we were very close in college.
I didn't know this was happening.
Yeah, and so I don't really know what to do about it, but I care about her very much still.
Right.
It's just, I'm kind of like, I can't engage with this.
You, yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely hard. Tread lightly.
Yeah, and I am also sorry you're going through this.
It's a very, very hard thing.
Totally.
Yeah, especially, I don't know, someone like me, like I really, losing a friend is very hard for me. Like, I'm someone who keeps in touch with literally, I went to nursery school with someone and I pop in, I'm like, how are you? Happy birthday. So that is hard for me. So I get you there. There's going to be a lighter question.
I'm excited for that.
This is from Peter. What are you looking forward to for the rest of the year? Matt, can you believe this year is almost over? I start to reflect on goals I set for myself, and I'm 2 out of 4 so far. I was wondering how your goals are coming along this year, and also what are your goals most looking forward to for the rest of 2024? And also, what would you like to see happen in 2025? Thanks. Your podcast brings all of us so much joy. I can't wait to see you hit 100,000 subs. It's long overdue. That's the goal of 2025. It was the goal of 2024.
It was a reacher goal the whole time because I was like, girl, we're about 40,000 subscribers away at that point.
Nothing's impossible.
It's not, but like we're on trend for next year. That's going to be a great day for all of us.
Yeah.
And I've already looked up how to get 2 of those plaques because we're both getting one of those fucking 100K.
Is it possible?
Oh, very much so. I think we might have to pay for the second one, but we will pay.
Whatever.
For the rest of the year, I'm looking forward to however Mariah Carey is going to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Merry Christmas. I'm looking forward to Gaga's pop single. I'm looking forward to the holidays and going back to Atlanta for the few days that I'm going to go over the holidays. I'm looking forward to the Wicked movie. I think it's just going to be a good, I'm again, rejuvenated post España trip.
Yeah.
And I'm just like excited to really get things going. I feel like we've done a lot of good stuff this year. I was really proud of our Brian Stokes Mitchell interview.
Yeah, we've done a lot this year.
Yeah.
So we're really living off the 2 game Mats high of like the first 3 quarters of 2024.
Right.
Because they were really, really something.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of looking forward to more of that happening.
Agreed.
I don't know what like things I'm looking forward to are I am going out back to Jersey in a couple days, as I said, for like 5 days. My friend Cecilia is coming out here in November, and I think she's staying to see our
we can say it.
Can we say it?
Let's say it. Our holiday live show.
Holiday live show.
Tickets aren't available just yet, but watch out on our Instagrams everywhere. It's going to be Saturday, November 23rd. If you are in the LA area, please just plan to come. It's going to be so much fun, and it's going to be like our previous live show in May, but more holiday spirited, a little bit more festive, and
a few more jingle bells jangling.
I can't wait for it. And something else on the list of things we're looking forward to.
And then around Thanksgiving, like one of my best friends, Fernando, is coming from Texas to celebrate his birthday out here, and so I'm gonna spend Thanksgiving with him and like all of our friends down here. And I don't know, and also like I'm trying to get my second feature made, so my goal for the rest of the year is to just get like one more thing accomplished with that. It could mean someone attached in some capacity. It could mean finding out like a specific budget we're shooting for. It could mean having a pitch session somehow, something, anything. Please God. So that's sort of like my goal professionally for end of 2024.
For sure.
So yeah. Oh my God. Are we going to go back to Big Brother?
I mean, I guess we are.
Guys, this is 2 game minutes. This is the section of the podcast where one of us, usually me, rambles about something the other Matt doesn't give a shit about for 2 minutes, and 2 minutes only. Sometimes not only, but whatever.
It's going to be 2 minutes only.
But the thing is, and I usually ramble about Big Brother, but I have 2 weeks of Big Brother to ramble about. But luckily, the end game of Big Brother is always slow.
There you go.
Once you get to the top 6, it slows the fuck down.
It happens.
So I think I can do this in about 2 minutes. We'll see.
Are you ready?
Who cares? Yeah, sure. Here we go.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
After Leah's slightly weak HOH reign in the backyard, MJ won head of household and said, "Let me have an even worse week." Although MJ is aligned with Chelsea and Cam, she's always had a decent relationship with Leah, and the previous week, she worked very well with Leah and Angela in leading the charge to get rid of T-Core. So MJ was sitting pretty between 2 alliances. You'd think she'd want to target Chemo and Rubina, right? Who she's not with. Of course not. She nominates Chemo as a pawn and Angela as her target, even though Angela was never going after her, and that makes Leah go, "Wait, what the fuck? What is MJ doing?" Then MJ wins the power of veto, and Chelsea stealthily convinces her to use her veto on Chemo to backdoor her ally Leah and nominate her. Leah is devastated and cries and realizes she should have followed her gut last week and have gone after Chelsea. MJ quickly realizes she made a bad move and is like, "Maybe we should keep Leah instead." But the house is like, "LOL, of course not. It's too late now, sweetie." Leah is evicted, but it's double eviction day, baby. And the worst possible thing happens. The The HOH competition comes down to a tiebreaker with Angela and Chelsea, where they have to essentially figure out the number of minutes in a
1
week.
minute.
Chelsea fully undershoots and says like 1,000, but we think Angela has this in the bag. But Angela overshoots with 15,000, which is closer to the number. But since you can't go over, Chelsea is in the new HOH. You feel the entire studio audience deflate like a balloon. It's obvious she's putting up Angela and Chemo, with Angela as the target. Chemo wins the veto, and I'm screaming at the TV, "No, God, no!" for 20 minutes straight. All Chemo and Rubino had to do was say, Chelsea, please put up MJ, and we'll still vote out Angela, and then go back on their word to evict MJ and form a threesome with Angela battling only Cam in the next HOH. But they're not thinking anything creative, and Rubina is just like, it's okay if you use me as a pawn. Rubina is nominated, Angela gets evicted, and Big Brother 26 officially dies. Congratulations, Chelsea. But there's one more week. MJ won head of household again, so we were like, oh God, no, the week of this. She nominated Chemo and Rubina, then she went the veto again, but she and Chelsea are pissed that Cam lost yet another competition, and they're convinced he's throwing the competition, so they consider backdooring him, but then they're like, oh no, let's not. And so they don't use the power veto for the first time this season. Chemo is evicted, even though Cam had a very, very good argument to keep him, which Chelsea almost went through with. So good job, Cam, but you didn't quite do it. Chelsea's still going to win.
All right. We're a little over 2 minutes.
Whatever.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like nothing. I mean, I realized it was over 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
But the feeds have just been...
Oh, really?
Slow.
A ghost town?
Oh, yeah. The Big Brother podcast that I listen to, the daily podcast that goes over everything that happened on the live feeds the previous day. Usually, like, when the season's going, it's like an hour-long podcast. Now it's like, these podcast episodes are like 17 minutes, where this guy, Taryn, is just like...
This is all I got.
This is all I got. That's all I got. So
I love it.
We're winding down.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. So do we want to do Giving Me Moments?
Yes, mine is a mix of it's like a 2 minutes topic, but it's a Giving Me Moments length. So.
Oh, okay, bitch.
It's Giving Me Moments, bitch. We all get one Giving Me Moments, and this is mine.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm back. As far as the housewives go, I'm updated on everything. There are now multiple housewives cities going for the same time. There was actually like a stretch of time that there were no housewives on, then just Real Housewives of Orange County, which has been very good. This season was on, but now we have the returns of both Salt Lake City and Real Housewives of New York, which is with the new revamped cast after they, retooled the whole show, fired everybody, and brought in 6 new women, including Jenna Lyons, fashion designer. And I have a few things to say about it.
Okay.
The Real Housewives of New York, people are always so mean about because everyone misses like the golden age of Roni, which like the original cast of Roni was so great for a time, but before they were rebooted, I would say the last 2 or 3 seasons, ever since Carol was fired, the show was going downhill. And watching, Ramona and Sonia and Luann try to engage with Ebony, a black person, was just so heartbreaking and like disgusting. And then COVID time was happening at the same time. People will always remember the highlights of that era, but it was time to reboot, and we need to give these new girls a chance.
Sure.
I'm excited. I feel like second season is always where you can see the cast really gel and figure out, okay, these are our friendships. These are the people we like. We're getting in fights because now we actually know each other. That's already happening. They've also brought in Rebecca Minkoff, who is a friend of, she is another fashion designer in New York City, and also she's a Scientologist. So if we talk about that, that'll be interesting. And then secondly, we've also brought in a woman named Raquel, who seems very cool, another lesbian of a certain age. So Jenna is not like alone on that island, like 17 years older than everybody else. I'm into the new season, excited to see where it goes. I would say Housewives of Orange County is still firing on all cylinders. We were talking a bit about Shannon Bedore. She's having a very tough season, but now she's gotten to the point where it's like, I get to be the person announcing the cast trip. We're all going to London. And since Alexis is just a friend of the show, she's the person dating her ex-boyfriend, John Jansen. She's like, well, I have decided with production, she's not coming on this trip. I'll text her to tell her that because I'm being sued by this woman's boyfriend. You can send me all the olive branch, flower arrangements you want. Thank you, Alexis. I'm not interested in an olive branch. I've invited my friends to go to London with me. I want to make it clear you're not invited. Iconic. She essentially fired her from the show in that scene, and it was so great. I think the new girls, Katie and Jen, even though she was here last year, are doing bang-up jobs as new housewives. I'm into it. I'm into them. Houses of Salt Lake City. This we're coming off of season 4, how everything ended with Monica, how that was like a banner year for that franchise. It proved that they can really have an exciting season that's not centered around Jen Shaw, who's currently in jail for defrauding the elderly. And now we're back again. Monica's no longer here. We have 3 new women. One girl named Brittany, who's friends with Heather Gay, whose whole thing is like, oh, I date one of the Osmonds. And the Osmonds are, of course, in Utah, Mormon country, like the Kennedys. And so I'm dating this offshoot Osmond, but like we're kind of dating. He calls me his best friend.
Offshoot, not an offshoot Osmond.
An offshoot Osmond. And she's, her whole thing is like, we're Instagram official. And then like he had posted a story of him with her in Costco. And he was like, I'm here with my best friend. And it's like, that's not official, babe.
Oh, no.
So that's a mess. And we have a new girl who I do like. Her name is Bronwyn. She's very over the top. She seems actually very rich, has very splashy and like kind of gross taste, but like she's fun to watch. But I have to say, I listen to a lot of, much like you listening to your recap podcast, I listen to a lot of recap podcasts on the Housewives. Every time they talk about an episode of Salt Lake, they say, and I'm not even missing Monica, and I'm not even missing Monica, and I'm not even missing Monica. And it's like, well, would you be saying that if you weren't missing Monica?
Yeah.
Like, it feels like such a hole to me. Like, as much as I like Bronwyn, you had to bring in 3 new ladies to try to fill the Monica void. And, Bronwyn's doing an okay job, but like, otherwise it's not super working. I feel like we also just have, like, every episode they flash back to Monica at a point. Because Heather's like, I'm so scared of meeting new women and having like strong opinions so early on because they remind me of something that happened in my past. And they flash back to Monica. And it's like, she's like the ghost hanging over the season of the show. It just feels like if we're going to say we're not having her back on the show, all of the like references to receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, like that's Heather Gay's tagline this season. It's like, but that was the Monica scene. Like everything about the show is relating to the end of last season because it was such a cultural phenomenon, which I get. But it's like, if we're going to do that, just give this girl her snowflake back. This whole ending of her time on that show was so like unresolved, and like, yes, it's messy. Yes, it's like, should a person who's a super fan be on the show? But clearly this is still driving story enough that truly there's been a flashback to this woman every episode of the new season. Sure. Just give her snowflake back. The people want to see how this is going to end up. This can't be the end of that story. And if that means that Lisa Barlow and Heather Gay quit the show, then so be it. I'd rather see Monica. I do miss her. And I think there's positives this season. Mary is definitely having her best season yet. She's the one married to her step-grandfather and running a cult. But she's very funny. And so she's kind of doing her best work that she's ever done on the show. But Monica's sorely missed, and I think we should all admit it to ourselves.
Do you think they got rid of Monica just to have her have a comeback?
I cannot imagine them not bringing Monica back.
Yes.
I truly...
It seems like they were like, okay, these couple of housewives want her gone and everything. Let's maybe give them what they want, knowing we're going to have a season that's going to be maybe a little bit of a dud. Right. But then the return of Monica will be bonkers for ratings.
Right. That's what
I can see that's a strategy.
They definitely, like, the whole cast essentially banded together and were like, we will not film with Monica. But I also think that's bullshit. You're not going to quit this show 5 years in that you're making so much money on and like is giving you all the fame you wanted. Like, you will sit there and you'll be pissed about it. But like, and maybe it won't happen because people will really love the show. But I feel like there's a big hole on Salt Lake right now. And I'm enjoying OC more. I'm going to say it. I think OC's working better. So these are my feelings.
All right.
Matt Steele.
Yeah.
What's been giving you moments, Starline?
Well, I saw a piece of cinema this last week.
Yes.
And it was very exciting because I have like a friend from college. I'm bringing up friends from college.
I know, a lot of friends from
college. I
college.
have a friend from college who's in this movie. It is the Jason Reitman film Saturday Night. And it is basically the movie that documents the, well, I'm gonna say like it's a scripted version of what happened in the hour and a half before Saturday Night Live first went live in 1975. It very much follows what's his name who runs Saturday Night Live? Lorne Michaels. Sorry, Lorne. It very much like follows him and how everyone was sort of like expecting him to fail, and you spoiler alert, it gets revealed that the show was just sort of like greenlit so it could could fail, so
Oh.
the network could prove that they would make more money just playing Johnny Carson reruns over and over again. And it was this revolutionary show that, like, while they were putting it together, they had no idea even like really what it was, except Lorne Michaels was just like, I know what it is. I know what it is. And everyone's just like, but like, what is it? Like, there's scenes, there's 2 stand-up comedians, there's music. Like, what is this? And he's like, I can't really describe it to you, but I know what it is. I have the vision. And so it's just like in real time, the hour and a half leading up to it, everything is like, there's set pieces that are crashing. There's cast members, of course, who are comedians, so they're like really just out there and just living their own lives and not behaving very well, as you know, comedians sometimes don't do. And so it's an issue with them. It's an issue with so much stuff happening. Just the dress rehearsal was like 3 hours long, but they only have an hour and a half. So it's like, what do we cut? And all of this stuff is happening so quickly. It starts at the very beginning at like 10 o'clock and it just goes and it does not stop. It's so well paced. It's so interesting. The performances are so good. The cast is ginormous. And they're all so great. It's wonderful seeing these young actors playing like a young Chevy Chase, a young Gilda Radner and everything. And especially exciting seeing one of my like good friends from college, Matt Wood, who played the young John Belushi, who like was born to play a young John Belushi. You look at him and you're just like, he probably didn't even need to audition.
Right.
They were just like,
we see your headshot.
We see that is John Belushi right there. He was excellent. I'm so proud of him and everything he's done. And it was just like such a rollicking good time. Really, really fun. It was, and every character, even though you could only really have characters come in and out for tiny, tiny little scenes, they still found a way to give every person sort of like their own through line.
Okay.
And you were with everyone's, like, I don't feel like anyone was shortchanged in the slightest. The drama revolving around each individual person was just enough, but not too much. Like, you didn't dwell on anything for too long. The one real constant is Lorne Michaels, and it's just really, really well done and very, very impressively made. I can't imagine what it was like, sort of like constructing that script and then having to develop a shot list for that script, because it's just, you're just weaving in and out of the studio. Visually, it's really cool and so chaotic. And you know, I love chaos in a movie sometimes. And so
Joker 2 coming soon.
And so I really thought it was great, and everyone should go see it.
All right.
Yeah. And I loved it. And I'm not someone who really knows much about Saturday Night Live.
Right.
Like, I'll watch clips here and there if they're posted,
right,
and everything, but I can't say I'm a Saturday Night Live aficionado. So it was, and it's still, I was very invested in what was happening. I love that. So yeah.
Well, guys, we did it.
We did it. And we're going to take another break next week. Well, are we going to shoot?
I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to figure. I would like for there to be a podcast next week. Stay tuned. I'm hoping to figure out one way or another how we do it.
Okay.
All right.
I am out of town next week. So if there's not a podcast, don't be surprised.
Right.
I might actually be leaving a day later, because I fly out Thursday morning.
Okay.
I might have to fly out later because a certain show that I was on recently that airs
I was going to say,
episode airs pretty soon.
They need to reshoot something?
They reached out to my manager and they were just like, we're like thinking of reshooting like a couple different parts. We might need Matt. Is he available like the 9th and the 10th?
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, well, I fly out on the 10th.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need to know ASAP, like if I'm needed on set, that way I can bump my flight back.
Yeah.
But the shittiest thing of it all is like it'll be nice being on set again.
Yeah.
You know, because it's another day of work.
Yes.
But also my chest hair just grew back. As y'all remember, I was on that set and they had to shave my chest last minute in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And that hair just grew back. I just got my manhood back and they want to take it away from me again.
They can't take that away from you.
I know.
To quote Mariah. But yeah, I guess keep me updated. Maybe we can try to do something remotely and just have it air during this time if you have time. But if not, maybe there'll be a co-host here that's not Matt Steele. Who knows how we're going to do it, but we're going to try our best to have a podcast out for you this time.
I would love to do it because it's Big Brother finale.
Yes.
Week. So a week from now, we will know a winner.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been so lovely. I'm so happy to be back in the United States, and I'm happy to be going to bed.
The United States is happy to have you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Here's a bed to offer you.
Thank you. I appreciate the bed. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week, hopefully, with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, we did it.
Great work, guys.
I know. We all were in this together, I feel. And I don't think I was too crazy.
No, you were completely fine.
Good. Who needs sleep?
No one
sleep is
needs
so
sleep.
out.
You think
Sleep.
Madonna slept?
I mean.
Never.
Never.
She worked. Do you think Beyonce sleeps?
Oh, I forgot to mention it, but I'll probably mention it next week. The Griff album is so fucking good, guys. I've only listened to it one time all the way through. But man alive, I feel like everybody in the Discord was talking to me about you must listen to Griff, Vertigo, and then new record. And it is so great. Some initial standouts for me. Vertigo, 19th Hour, Miss Me Too. I think Tears for Fun I liked. And the final track, Where Did You Go, is so fucking excellent. And don't be surprised if I say this all again next week. It was supposed to be a part of Mega Me Moments, but I forgot because, again, I'm very tired. But it's a great record. And if you have not heard it, you should listen to Griff's new album, Vertigo. I think you're going to love it.
Sick.
So sick.
I love that.
Yes, Griff's album's amazing. I love her voice. I love her sound.
Yeah.
She seems so.
I really liked her first album.
Yes.
Was it her first or was it
that EP? I felt like her
Yeah.
first major EP.
Yeah, with like Walk and everything.
fucking
Great
love
song.
Walk.
Yeah, I remember when that came out.
So yeah, the album is also excellent. So I just feel like she has such a fully realized sound for such a new artist, and I just am thrilled about it.
Yeah. Is she going to count as a new artist when this album gets
Oh
nominated?
God, I probably unless she got nominated for something before. Was that your first time in Madrid? It was. It was my first time in Spain. It was my first time in Europe. Since I went for some work trips, but like for fully like, oh, I'm having fun since high school when we used to go on some ensemble trips where I used to go.
Oh, yeah.
over and
Weren't you in
sing.
Ireland right before COVID?
I was. I had a work trip in London and then Ireland in like February of 2020.
Yeah.
And so it was.
I remember that's when I binged The Circle.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I still think it's wild you haven't seen the season with the Spice Girls.
I know.
Isn't that it's just like a show you've watched and liked?
I saw the first 2 seasons, but
Yeah.
then I was like, I can't emotionally invest in another show.
I know.
The fact that the Spice Girls were on it season 4, I don't
Right.
know, is insane. I should.
You should.
But then I can't watch season 4 before I watch season 3.
But it's not. I mean, you could, but you won't.
I gotta watch it all.
What pop music's popular in Spain nowadays? I mean, I feel like we had a car for a couple of days driving in between a couple of smaller towns in Andalusia, and there was a lot. I mean, the station was very like 80s, 90s, and today, and like so that was the English speaking stuff was like stuff that you know. But then there was also Spanish language songs that were excellent that I was like, I don't know what this is, but I love it.
But
I love it.
hook is great.
I love a good hook. I do love a good hook.
Yeah.
Guys, I think I gotta go. I know.
Gotta go.
We usually stay on longer.
And we have to record an ad.
Fucking A. Sorry. So if you see me in this outfit in a future ad, no, I'm pissed about it.
But we love.
We love. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Wish us the best.
Yes, we'll see you.